freedom, man. That's what it's all about. You've got to groove on freedom, like the good book says.
Welcome. You are listening to What on Earth is Happening. This show will discuss the topics of human consciousness, mind control, natural law, the occult, and all issues that affect the freedom of the people of Earth. What on Earth is Happening will endeavor to shine light upon the darkness of our world and to offer empowering solutions to the problems we face as humanity approaches its critical moment of choice. And now, here is your host, Mark Passio.
Welcome one and all, you're watching What on Earth is Happening. I'm your host Mark Passio, my website whatonearthishappening.com. Ladies and gentlemen, government is slavery. Always has been, is now, always will be. And here on What on Earth is Happening, we are ending slavery one mind at a time. Welcome and thank you for tuning in today. Today is Sunday, February 4th, 2024. This is episode number 281 of What on Earth is Happening. And as always, What on Earth is Happening is a show of cumulative information with later episodes having prerequisites in knowledge contained in earlier episodes. So if you're a new listener, a new viewer, you should not watch from this point forward. You should go back to the earliest episode, number 1, and you should watch in order at your own pace. So you will get the full benefit of expanding your worldview and gaining the prerequisite knowledge to understand what is taking place in the latest episodes. Most people don't understand why I get as angry as I get. Most people don't understand all the previous information that I've covered. And they think that they do. They think that they have an inkling. And I hear everybody always say, I can watch it starting from the latest. You're a moron. No, you can't. You don't understand what you're even missing. You're missing huge chunks of information. There's a gigantic gap in your knowledge base. You think through your completely egotistical mindset that you're someone special that doesn't need the earlier knowledge. You believe you have all the information that you currently need, and you're a fucking moron who does not have the information that you need. That's why I'm telling you, if you've encountered the show and you're brand new to it, you shouldn't listen at this point. You should go back and you should watch and listen from episode number 1. If you don't think so, you're just a fucking idiot who is incapable of learning because you're an egotistical prick who thinks that they know when you know nothing. You don't know the information in the earliest episodes, or probably by now you'd be actually doing what I'm doing instead of trying to listen and garner new information. I'm going to hit people with a lot of empowering information in this episode, but I just wanted to say that first. And I want to say, there's a continuous problem with software in this community. I need to do whole new shows on the state of software. I need to explain to people the state of modern computing because it's such an important component in the solution of reaching out and teaching other people. And people don't understand why software is important. They don't understand why it's connected to human freedom. They don't understand why development of software that is not buggy piece of shit software is important in the modern world. They don't understand why platforms who are acting as gatekeepers and holding whole feature sets and software off of their platform is harmful to the entire community and harmful to freedom itself. It's a topic that I think is so poorly understood by human beings that it is one of the most important topics to get out. So probably after I'm finished with Unholy Feminine, I'm going to go into a very deep explanation of the current state of software in our world and why it's absolutely inextricably connected to the state of human freedom. and the freedom community as a whole. And again, most of the morons in this entire community don't understand anything about technology. They're Luddites. They're Ludtards, as I call them. They don't understand why software is important at all. They don't understand what's going on with software in the modern day. They don't get the struggle of the content creator when it comes to doing all of the tasks and all of the setup and all of the meticulous work that they have to do to get a show like this in order. And you do everything 100% perfectly, correct and perfect to the letter. And there still is a problem with the execution of the show because of the state of software in the world and dumb, loser, leftist, Marxist, trash, communist developers that don't understand how to do their job correctly because they have no work ethic, they have no holistic intelligence, they have no pride in themselves or their work, and they're just lazy fucking pieces of fucking dumped shit is what they are. That's what almost all software developers in the world today, especially in the free and open source community, because they're communist trash, most of them. And I'm not saying I'm a right-winger. I don't believe in politics at all. I'm a radical fucking anarchist on the only true form of anarchy, which is based in natural law and objective morality, not bullshit left-wing anarchy. Which I did whole presentations on called Fake-Ass Anarchists. And I'm not a right-winger either because they're just as equally dumb pieces of shit believers in politics and fucking nonsense that are going to try to usher in their own form of totalitarianism and authoritarianism. So you can all wipe each other's asses and mouths for that matter because you all got shit drawn out both of your fucking mouths and you equally don't make any fucking sense in what you espouse and talk about and advocate. So shove all of your ideologies up their ass and all go fuck yourselves, because you're all losers. And software developers just happen to be on that leftist tip of the fucking bullshit equation. You know, they're just, you know, idiot Marxists that, you know, don't understand how to really engage in a true work ethic and take true pride in their work. And they look at it, oh, I'm not getting paid for this, so fuck it, I'll just do a shit job. That's what most of the software in our world is. And if you don't think so, you're a moron. If you actually believe that there's super high quality fucking really great software being written in the modern day, it's few and far between. It's a fucking little piss ant little drop in a huge ocean of shit is what it is. And people have to start understanding why that's important and start explaining this out to the wider community so that we have an engagement of this dynamic and conversation, and it is even just put before the consciousness of people so that they understand what's really going on with communication technology. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about getting the message out to the fucking dumb, imbecilic public, and you gotta do that through software. People don't understand every single solitary millisecond of everything that I've ever said in the history of what on earth is happening, and every fucking presentation and interview that I've ever done has been made possible through the execution of some piece of software. It doesn't happen with old methods of technology. We're not rolling fucking 2-inch reel tape or whatever. We're not rolling a fucking old hand-cranked camera with film. We're using software, and everything we do and everything I've been doing since the beginning day of what on earth is happening has been done through computers and software. It's not ancient Luddite fucking technophobe shit. It's all done with modern software-based technology. And the problem is software is so poorly written these days that it makes it a fucking torture. It makes it a fucking torture. I teach whole classes on how to do this. And once again, it doesn't even matter if you do everything perfectly. There's so many fucking bugs in software today, and there's so just many poorly written interconnections between software that you can do your job totally perfectly as I do. And there's still a fucking bug in the software that fucks your work up. I'm dependent, unfortunately, because I'm not a developer, on being dependent on fucking imbecile developers who can't do their job right. We had to switch over from a piece of proprietary software that was written like shit to an open source piece of software that's largely written like shit for the show this year. I'm just not happy about any of it because nobody fucking engages in actually learning modern fucking protocols and writing the software correctly because they have no work ethic, they take no pride in their work, and they have no pride in themselves as a fucking human being. And that's why nothing really gets done in this world for the better. Evil takes pride in itself. Evil is driven. Evil never stops working. Evil believes in itself. People who think that they're fucking good are lazy bags of dog shit who ultimately do nothing. They sit on their fucking ass with their hand up their asshole, doing nothing, learning nothing, improving nothing, and just making the world fucking harder for everybody else. That's all people fucking do. That's all people who think they're good do. You're not good, you're a lazy bag of shit. I'm tired, folks. I'm tired. I'm sick of doing this shit when I could be doing something else. I could be spending my time doing what I want to do instead of this bullshit. I only continue to do it because it's the right thing to do and because I'm charged to say the fucking truth, and I'm going to continue saying it. And I don't care if we don't get to the fucking information I want to cover. I don't care if it takes all fucking season to cover it. It'll take as long as it fucking takes. And I'll say what I feel like fucking saying and venting and getting off my chest, whatever I want to tell this fucking bullshit community, because that's what you guys are. If you weren't a bullshit community, and if you were doing your job right, and if you were fucking driven and motivated like the fucking masters who are laughing their asses off at your fucking dumb fucking faces, you'd be making progress toward fucking really developing true freedom toward really fucking coming out of human slavery. Is that happening? If you think so, you're a fucking deluded idiot. You're a completely delusional idiot. I hear people saying, "We're winning! Oh, let me see if I can get the voice right. Let me see if I can get this naive jackass voice correct. Ready? Here it is. We're winning! Right? Yay! We're winning! And yet people sound so fucking dumb when they use the term, we're winning. Oh, we have the occultists on the run, boy. Let me tell you, they are afraid of us, son. Man, oh man, I'm telling you, they're just the biggest, highest ranking dark Luciferians. They're just shaking in their fucking boots. They're huddling under the stairs, right? And they're just shaking in their fucking boots every day thinking, my God, they're all coming for us. They know everything they need to know, and they're so driven toward their purpose, and they're all moving the whole planet and the whole population in the direction of true freedom. Yeah, your globalist overlords think that. Yeah, you guys are dumb as a bag of bent, rusty nails. You're dumb as a plastic bag full of chunks of broken glass. That's how dumb you are. That's a pretty dumb idea. You're dumb as 10 pounds of liquid dog shit in a 5-pound bag with holes cut all over it. And that's pretty fucking dumb. That's a pretty dumb idea, boys and girls. And you're dumber than that. That's how dumb most people in this community are. To actually believe that's where we're at as a species in consciousness in the modern day. Delusional retards is what the bulk of the freedom community are. You are delusional, retarded people. We are so far away from winning. We are so far away from understanding any of the causal factors. You know what we're winning at? Since I'm fucking ranting before I even start the show, there might not be any show today. It might not be on the topic that I want to cover. I might just rant the whole fucking show. Okay? Before I even start, let me tell you what we're winning at. Here's what we're winning at. We are beginning to win in realizing that we are a degraded, enslaved species. That's what humanity is winning at. But we're coming around to the understanding that we're a shameful, ignorant, apathetic, lazy, and cowardly species. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we have to win at that first. Maybe we have to stop failing at even recognizing that the bulk of humanity is one big ball of mud shit. Maybe we have to stop losing at the recognition we are a mud creature species. That's what we are as a fucking species of beings. And if you don't think so, once again, shut the fucking show off. Go and listen to some other fucking moron who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. And you want to say, I'm hard on people? Go ahead. I'm telling the truth. I'm saying what nobody else will say because they're cowards. I'm giving people the real street shit. I'm telling one boy to another, one fucking person rolling with somebody else to another, you're a fucking weakling, and I don't really want to roll with you, because you make me fucking weak. You tire me the fuck out. You make me have to expend energy where I don't want to. I don't want to roll with people like that. I want to roll with fucking driven motherfuckers. I want to roll with fucking winners. I want to roll with fucking people who are strong and willing to do anything required to win. Because winning is freedom and losing is slavery. And the problem is, there's hardly anybody like that. They're not driven. They're not motivated. They don't have the intellect. They don't have the intelligence. They don't have the holistic intelligence they need. They don't have the care they need. They don't have the drive they need. They don't have the fucking courage that they need. They have none of the tools. None of the tools. None of the requirements do they have. What they have is a big sack of fucking ego and endless drool of fucking verbal diarrhea coming out their mouth and being splattered all over the keyboard with their fingers because they want to go in chat rooms and talk instead of fucking paying attention to what's being said. You want to talk to other fucking morons splattering their diarrhea all over the fucking screen. That's what you want to do because you're a moron. Anybody who goes into fucking chat rooms instead of trying to actually fucking learn. Again, you're not engaged in present moment awareness. You're not listening. You're not present. You're not learning. You don't even know how to do those things. You haven't learned how. You were never taught in your educational process how to actually learn. What is the mindset you have to enter to learn? The mindset that you need to even put yourself in to learn has nothing to do with you speaking. It has nothing to do with you communicating to other people. You don't ask questions while you're attempting to learn. You ask questions after the person who is trying to impart knowledge attempts to give you the knowledge. You know, this is what people don't know how to do. They don't know how to sit. They don't know how to be silent. They don't know how to empty their mind of other things. They don't know how to give full attention. They're not present. I need to do more shows on present moment awareness. This is part of real awakening, folks. You know, we can give all the information about all the mind control techniques and everything that's happening in the external domain. The problem is people's internal domains are fucked up. And then you erroneously think because I'm so angry at how fucked up you are that the problem's with me. Imagine this. The problem doesn't lie with me because I'm angry that you're so debased and you're such shit and you really can't help. Look, just think about it for a fucking second. A truly strong, driven, motivated, holistically intelligent person who is doing the correct things and fulfilling the requirements, having zero help because he's full of other weakling bags of shit, getting angry at that situation is not the fucking problem. That's the normal response, asshole. Because I'm angry doesn't mean that I'm not spiritually fucking activated. It means that I'm annoyed and fed up to the fucking brim with all of the weakness that I see in everybody else. That's the problem, is that you're not making the progress. I did my fucking work upon myself. I did all the fucking shadow work that I needed to do. My anger is righteous and justified, and it is the correct emotional response to a bunch of fucking people that are holding back my evolutionary development and freedom because of their fucking laziness and bullshit. Let's get that straight, morons. Let's get it perfectly clear and straight. And I'll say what I want, when I want, and it'll be as angry and vitriolic as I want. I said I was going to try to curb this. And I want to, because I want to teach the material that I want to teach today clearly. And I want to teach it as in the best way that I can possibly do it, because it is one of the most important topics that can be learned. It's one of the things that's destroying the world at the fastest pace possible. The belief in Marxism and communism and even right-wing, forms of neo-fascism. All of these political extremist ideologies based on authoritarianism and totalitarianism, they're destroying the world. What I hear from and see from the tech community, that's destroying the world. Neo-feminism is one of the things destroying the world at the fastest rate, destroying the sacred masculine, completely devastating the mindset of the people of this planet, especially the young, at the fastest rate humanly imaginable. And the characteristics that it's breeding into the next generation of souls coming into this planet are so deplorable and so degraded that the occult social engineers are going to have such an easy problem putting the shackles on people permanently that it's laughable. It's not even a match. It's, like I said, it's such a mismatch that it's Bruce Lee fighting a fucking 2-year-old. Less than that, he's fighting a fucking baby in a high chair. It's a mismatch of all mismatches. We're not even in the fight. We don't even know the fight's taking place and we're knocked the fuck out already. That's how lopsided this fucking so-called spiritual battle is. Evil is kicking our ass pillar to post. It's a fucking 2-second knockout as soon as the fucking bell rings. We're not even in the fucking fight. We haven't shown up. And we're winning! I mean, you gotta be fucking joking. Babies say this. Spiritual infants say the phrase, we're winning. I mean, Jesus Christ, get over your fucking ego self. Please. Fucking jokes. Your jokes. Makes me sick. Let's go over to the slides if we're not there. Switch over to I'm sorry. That's my fault. All right, you can switch over. Thank you. Thank you to Will Keller for the artwork for the shows, as always. We got some great art coming up for our title cards during this series. He's done an excellent job. This is the latest one. This is Unholy Feminine, Neo-Feminism, and the Satanic Epi-Eugenics Agenda, Revisited, Part 3. So that's coming up on this edition of What on Earth is Happening. We're on a new 3-hour format this year from January through June. Of course, in July, I start teaching the How to Become the True Media seminar, where I try to impart the information on how to communicate this knowledge to the outside world through modern communications and publishing technology. Right now, we are simulcasting on 10 platforms. What on Earth is Happening? One Great Work Network, Telegram, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, X, Rumble, Odyssey, and DLive, the most platforms that we've ever simultaneously streamed on. How to Become the True Media coming up this July. It's an online technology skill sharing seminar hosted on the Telegram platform every Monday evening, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. From Monday, July 8th to Monday, December 9th, 2024, for a total of 23 class sessions. There is limited space available in this year's seminar. Enrollment opens Monday, April 1st, 2024 at midnight Eastern Time. The enrollment fee is $523.93. You do not send that now. You enroll after enrollment opens. You can click the enroll button on howtobecomthetruemedia.com. That will take you to my gifts area where you could then enroll and make that donation. So you do not send that just off the cuff. You have to enroll at howtobecomthetruemedia.com starting April 1st of this year. The seminar curriculum is listed on the website. Let me jump in there and go to that. So if you go to howtobecomthetruemedia.com, here is the seminar curriculum. And again, this year will be the last year that I can, in all honesty, offer this seminar at such a low rate. I will have to bump it next year. I don't want to try to bump it a lot, but I will have to bump it because of inflation rates with the dollar and, how little this goes anymore. So I'm probably going to bump it maybe around $100 starting next year. We'll see. If I could do it less than that, I'll try. But I'm going to have to reevaluate, what I'll have, the price that I will have to set the enrollment for this 23-week seminar for. So the accepted donation methods this year: Cash App, GPay, Wise, Zelle, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Litecoin, Stellar, Monero, Theta, Dash, personal check, and money order. I think that's more than enough enrollment methods, donation enrollment methods. Do not ask for any other enrollment methods. Those are the enrollment methods. That's more than enough. You got electronic forms of payment. You have 9 cryptocurrencies there, and then old-fashioned methods to send a personal check or a money order. If you are going to pay by check or money order, I have to receive those by July 1st. July 1st is the cutoff date for the receiving of enrollment checks or money orders for How to Become the True Media. And internet enrollment will end midnight July 4th. Midnight on the 4th of July. Internet enrollment will end for this seminar. Here are the beginner and intermediate skill sets that will be taught in the How to Become the True Media seminar. I will teach basic operating system skills, the very building blocks of all other computing skills. File systems and disk formatting, file and folder management, workflow and best practices, word processing and publishing, internet and networking basics, searching the web and searching the dark web for content, graphic design, print publishing, how to build presentations, how to do audio editing and publishing, how to do video editing and publishing, how to do live broadcasting, live streaming, how to build a website, web publishing, internet sharing and collaboration, and media hardware and equipment. All of that and more will be covered in the How to Become the True Media seminar, not least of which are life skills and characteristics that must be developed within the individual. I cover this throughout covering all of the technology basics. So it is not just a technology seminar, it is a life skills seminar. That is all of that is covered in the How to Become the True Media seminar. It's a private seminar open to those who make private donations to attend. Each private donation is for one student. There are no enrollment discounts. I want to go over these notes this week because it should be made clear how the enrollment and the process for enrolling works and How to Become the True Media. And I have to say, I think this is really, in all honesty these days, How to Become the True Media is what I would consider my main operation. I consider it my true main dharma in life. This is my real mission and work, is to help to create other teachers. I am not here just to disseminate information. I am here to help other people become teachers of that information. So How to Become the True Media, I think, is my ace operation these days. It is the most important thing that I do. I would say it has even more paramount importance than what I do regarding my work with What on Earth is Happening nowadays. Because if I'm not helping to make other teachers, I'm failing at my mission. That's my ultimate mission, not just to disseminate information, but to help to create new teachers of that information in this world. So let's go over some of the basics of enrollment so people get this clear and don't waste their time, and infinitely more importantly, don't waste my time. So in return for your private donation to attend, you will receive a private invitation to attend. I will give you the enrollment link, the entry link. There are no enrollment discounts. I have to make this fair for everyone, folks. I can't give people special treatment. So don't ask for any of these things, please. When enrollment opens especially, I get really busy taking people in, giving them the link, making sure they get into the Telegram group. This is a time-consuming process that can get messy, and then I have to communicate with people if they don't exactly know how to do things. So now, then, I'm trying to send emails back and forth or get on the phone with them or whatever, or get on some internet chat with them. Once enrollment starts, I get extremely. It's a very busy time of the year. So please please listen and abide according to basic respect for me, by my wishes in this matter. Do not do any of these things. And I'm explaining to you reasonably why I ask you not to. If you're going to enroll, or you have questions about enrolling, don't ask about or for any of these things. So I'm saying it on air, and I know most people aren't going to listen, but I'm trying to get it out there so that people don't do these things. Don't ask for an enrollment discount. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for you, and it's embarrassing for me to have to tell you, no, I don't offer discounts. I don't do enrollment plans. You have to pay all at once. You have to save up the enrollment donation, the private donation, and you have to transfer it all in one shot. I don't take $20 here, $20 there, $50 here. It's a one-time payment. It's embarrassing to ask me, will you accept this piecemeal? If I do it for you, I have to do it for everybody. Do you know how difficult that would become to track? Oh, this person paid 40%. This person paid 20%. This person paid 75%. I'm not tracking that. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I don't have the fucking time to do that. I'm one fucking person with a couple of helpers that come one day, a couple hours a week. That's the help I have here. Okay? I can't track anything like that. I do not have some sophisticated, intelligent tracking system for partial payments like that. Partial donations. Don't ask for it. The answer is I can't do that. I don't have a big or sophisticated enough operation. This is a little ragtag, rinky-dink home operation by my own admission, and it's still the best in the world at teaching what needs to be taught. Because God knows most other people ain't doing it. They're not teaching what I'm teaching. So please do not ask for any of these things. Don't ask for a discount. The price is the price. Don't ask for an enrollment donation plan. I'm not offering any partial enrollment plans. Don't ask for, partial enrollment. Like, since I took it a year ago or 2 years ago, can you give it to me for 50%? No, the donation is the donation, period. That's it. So don't ask for those things. Don't ask for enrollment extensions. If you don't make it in the class by the deadline, that's it. You got to take it next season. You got to take it next year. So if you want this, you have to do what's required to make it happen for you. Don't ask for any special arrangements. Don't ask for it to be done at a different time than I'm doing it. I'm the teacher. I set the time. If you can't make it, tough shit. Then you can't take it. That's how it works. If you want to take it, you got to bust your hump to change your schedule, to stay up late, to be tired the next day. Oh, fucking well. Oh, well. That's not my problem. None of those things are my problem, and I don't need to tailor anything I do to you. If you want to take my seminar that I'm offering, you have to tailor the arrangement regarding your time, your schedule, and your life to what I'm offering. Don't you fucking get that? The problem is most people are children. They're psychological children. This is what I'm trying to say. I make a big deal of things like this because I'm trying to give people an overarching impression of where the bulk of the human population is at psychologically. Could you imagine me? Could you imagine Mark Passio? Just put yourself in my position and imagine me. Let's say David Icke's offering a seminar in the UK. And could you imagine me, Mark Passio, writing or calling David Icke and saying, yeah, listen, David, your seminar really doesn't work with my schedule, man. So, like, can you do it, like, at the time that I want you to do it instead of when you want to do it, man? Could you imagine me asking someone like David Icke to make that kind of fucking change in his life for me? I would expect him not only to laugh at me, but to slap me. And he would be well within his rights to do so if I did something that fucking stupid. I would never be that disrespectful. People don't even understand. They have no shame. Because they don't have basic underlying respect for other people, because that's how satanic their consciousness is. That's how self-centered they are. So, do not ask for an enrollment extension. None of these things. There's no donation plans. There's no partial donations. There's no discounts. There's no date extensions. Read what I've written. It's there for a reason. If I say internet enrollment ends at this date and mail-in enrollment ends in this date, that's it. Plan in advance if you want to attend. Don't enroll last minute. Because I'm telling you, I have a feeling this is going to be the first year, and I said this 2 years ago and last year, but I really have a feeling this year we're running out of enrollment seats. I hope that happens. I really want to see it happen, right? And I want to see it happen for one of two reasons. If the seminar is that successful, multiple things are successful. One, it funds my operations, my 3 operations here. What on Earth is Happening, One Great Work Network, and How to Become the True Media all require money to operate and run. So it funds those 3 operations during the year. Number 2, what filling the seminar would do is teach people a life lesson. It would teach them, don't wait until the last minute and expect the opportunity still to be there. You have to seize the opportunity when it presents itself. So I really, really want to see people get locked out of this seminar. And I'm going to say that in a sense of not only trying to teach this life lesson, but shameless self-promotion as well. I want the seminar to completely fill up this year. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you the target number. I think I even said it last week, so I don't care if people know it. The target number is 200 enrollments. We've actually never yet hit that, believe it or not. I've never even had 200 people in this seminar, okay, in 1 year. I want to hit 200 people this year. That's my goal. If I can hit 200 people this year, it makes a lot of things from day-to-day operation and dealings here at What on Earth is Happening, One Great Work Network, and How to Become the True Media go picture perfect smoothly during the year. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, I really would love to see this community of people fill this seminar up this year and teach people who wanted to take it, who then get subsequently locked out, a life lesson. The life lesson is, when the opportunity presents itself, you have to strike while the iron is hot. And if you miss your opportunity, it's because of your laziness and inaction. And I would love to see that lesson taught this year, not only because it would make my year successful as far as resources are concerned to run my operations and make my life go a little bit more smoothly, but I would really like to see it impart that life lesson for real. That's one of my underlying motivations to say I really want to get 200 people in this seminar this year. So let's make it happen, folks. And not just that, the other thing that's going to be an enormous success from having that many people in the seminar is we're going to have more of a chance of some more people coming out of that seminar as new content creators. And that's the most important reason. Okay? So we'll see what happens. The other thing people ask me every year that I want to be unbelievably clear about, undeniably clear about. These classes are only hosted live. I do not record them for other people's use or consumption. I do not put them online. I do record them, but for my reasons. I want to go back and look at my teaching methods. I want to go back and look at the engagement of students from year to year. I want to go back and look at the progression of the seminars. So I do occasionally open up a video and say, oh, what did I teach this year? How can I improve upon that this coming year? Right? So it's like a study film. It's like a football team recording themselves and studying their plays and what they did right and wrong. So I do record them for my purpose. It's not intended to go on the internet as some evergreen video seminar. I don't want it to be that. Stop telling me to do that. I know I could do that. Do you think I'm a fucking moron that doesn't understand that that's technologically possible to do? I'm a fucking tech expert. I obviously know I could record these and make them available as evergreen video content for money. I don't want to do that. That's not how I want it. I don't want to use that as a way to take in resources because then it goes out there and it's a one-time basic thing and it's static. I don't want the How to Become the True Media to be static. Do you know why? New things happen in technology almost every fucking week, almost every day, let alone every month or every year. I might want to teach new things next year that aren't going to be in the recorded versions. I want interaction in real time from the new students. I don't want them passively watching a video. They can do that right now. You don't need How to Become the True Media for that. You can go and watch all kinds of YouTube tutorials on this technology that I'm talking about, and you can learn it without me. That's not the purpose of How to Become the True Media. The How to Become the True Media seminar is to engage in live time with Mark Passio in a student classroom environment where I am teaching in real time and answering questions in real time, not only having to do with technology, but having to do with life skills that are needed to do this type of work. Do you understand? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You know, for me to have to say that and repeat it and explain it is embarrassing. Stop. What I'm basically saying with all the people that write to me and write to me and write to me and ask and ask and ask, be quiet and listen and you'll learn and you'll know. You won't have to write a long email and ask me all these questions. You'll know. Read. Pay attention. Be fully present. This is the stop and look principle of How to Become the True Media. It's one of the main tenets. The first tenet of How to Become the True Media is the concept is king. You don't memorize linear tasks. You learn the conceptual idea and you adapt your method and your workflow to the concept. Then you are prepared for any change in operating environment. If you learn the conceptual idea and then apply the tasks to the concept. You never do it in reverse. You never try to learn a set of linear tasks and stay rigid with them. They have to be adaptable and free-flowing. And this is what most people do wrong in learning technology. That's one of our main tenets. The other tenet is stop and look. We have 10 main tenets. I'm not going to get into them all, obviously, but there's just a couple. These are life skill lessons that I teach. Stop and look means be fully present. Don't rush to do something. Find out if there's an answer right in front of your eyes. And there is. This is the same thing with anything else in life, especially what's going on in our reality. Stop and look. Be present. Don't be in a frenetic mind state where your mind's all over the place. Stop and look. The first part of stop and look is stop. You have to empty the mind of the chatter. You have to be fully present, in full present moment awareness. Then look. Is the available I'm seeking already present? You know how many people ask me these questions and the information's right on the website? Right there in black and white, and they don't read. Because they just want to hear their mouths spout. They just want to fucking hear their fingers spout. They don't want to stop, look, and listen. If we practice this, we'd be a lot knowledgeable about everything. Life skills, technology, communication, and what's going on within ourselves and in the wider world that we inhabit. So, continuing with these caveats that are written right on the home page, okay? The classes are only live. They will not be recorded and made available for later playback. I have no intention of doing that. If you cannot attend or make the commitment to attend the classes in live time, do not enroll in the seminar. You will not be given the classes. I am not going to make any concessions and give any recordings to anybody in the class this year. If you know how to do screen recording with sound, you are free as a student to make personal recordings for yourself. I could not tell someone to stop recording their own screen. You're free to record your own screen with sound if you know how to do it. Please, if you are a student, you're welcome to do that. I am not really, before the class giving you a class on how to do that. If you already know how to do it, that's fine. I ask people do not share those personal recordings because this is a private seminar. Okay? So, the only computer system requirements to attend is a desktop or laptop computer that is capable of running Telegram desktop. Do not run the mobile version of Telegram. It is not intended to be taken on a smartphone or a tablet. It is intended to be taken on a high-resolution screen with the desktop version of the software, because then you can use that computer to practice the techniques, okay? Or you can go along with the teachings in real time and practice the techniques on the same computer if you want to do it that way. So, almost all modern desktop or laptop computers will meet this basic requirement. It is not recommended to use a mobile device such as a smartphone or a tablet to attend. When enrolling, make sure to enter valid, correct, and up-to-date contact information. So this is extremely important. If we can't get a hold of you, then you are not going to be able to receive the link to enter the seminar. Don't make us have to track you down. Don't put in any fake information. Put your real full name. Put your real email address that you actively use, not some junk address that you're going to get hit with 10,000 junk emails a day and then not see our message, or it's going to go right to spam. Use your legitimate active email address when you enroll. Use an accurate and up-to-date phone number when you enroll. Don't put any fake information in the enrollment process. If you do, you know who you're hurting? You. You're not only making things difficult for us, you're making things far more difficult for you. Don't be Mr. Secret Agent Man or Mrs. Secret Agent Man. You're not a secret agent. You're not some fucking, high-end spy or something like that. Stop envisioning yourself as that. This isn't an anonymous offer. Okay? Use your real information when you enroll. It's best to use your real name on Telegram for this purpose, because if we have to look you up by a handle on Telegram, then it makes it even harder for us to contact you or make sure that you're enrolled properly. I'm not telling you have to, but it's better if you actually use your real name as your handle on Telegram. Okay? Shortly after you make your donation enrollment, you will receive an email confirming and containing a download link. You then click that link and you'll download a PDF, and in there will be important next steps to follow, like getting the software installed and then clicking into the actual Telegram group. Internet enrollment for the seminar ends July 4th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. Okay? If you want to enroll by check or money order, that must be received in the mail by July 1st, 2024. When enrollment opens, you will be able to email us with a request for an address to send your enrollment if you are enrolling via check or money order. Okay? So, those are the notes. Let's move on from that. I'm going to go back to my slides. For more information, visit howtobecomthetruemedia.com. On the day of enrollment, the enrollment buttons will go live on howtobecomthetruemedia.com. One Great Work Network is ending slavery one mind at a time, just like What on Earth is Happening and How to Become the True Media. Over 70 phenomenal content creators. Please support all of the content creators. One thing I want to say regarding content creators on OneGreatWorkNetwork.com is Mark Devlin, one of our great content creators from the United Kingdom, will be coming to the United States. I believe in, I don't know if it's the late spring or summer, or it's somewhere around that time frame. I want you to go to Mark's One Great Work Network page. He's going to tell you on his blog on One Great Work Network about his speaking tour in America. I hope people will support him in the cities that he's coming through, and hopefully make some nice donations to Mark for putting together this tour in the United States for, his books and his presentations. Great content regarding the enslavement system operating through popular music and culture. So that speaking tour coming up very soon right here in the United States by Mark Devlin. Don't Tread on Philly meets every second Wednesday for its second Wednesday happy hour. We'll be meeting the 14th of February this month. That's, I believe, Valentine's Day, right? Let me just check real quick. Yes, Valentine's Day, Wednesday, February 14th will be the next meeting of Don't Tread on Philly, okay? It takes place each month at the Dive in South Philadelphia. Always free to attend. this social meetup for people who are concerned about the loss of freedom in our lives. Great networking takes place during this happy hour. You can visit don'ttreadonphilly.com for more information, or you can go to Don't Tread on Philly's Facebook page and get the schedule for these happy hours. The Inquire and Inspire documentary movie night takes place on the third Thursday of every month from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. This takes place at Arnold's Family Fun Center in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Always great documentary shown, hosted by by Jeff each third Thursday of the month, by Jeff Hipoff. And if you want to visit the website for Inquire and Inspire, please visit inquireandinspire.com, or you can even point your phone at that QR code and RSVP for Inquire and Inspire if you are in the southeastern PA area. The What on Earth is Happening IPFS project still ongoing. I haven't had a lot of time to administrate it, but I will be making time to do that. If you want to get the requirements for the participation in this project, you can visit whatonearthishappening.com/IPFS. I don't know if we'll be taking calls this show, but we will definitely do all call-in shows coming up soon for this topic of the unholy feminine. You can always call in at our Telegram call-in room, whatonearthishappening.com/call to join us to call in to the show. The ARC 2.0 drive is the amazing repository of knowledge. Been offering this for over a decade now. The ARC drive is a storage device, either a hard drive or a solid-state drive that you send to me, and then I will send it back to you filled with over 26,000 audio files, over 9,500 books, and over 3,400 digital videos. And this is from my own personal archive of research and data collected over the years, gathered into a digital library and copied on to a 2 terabyte storage device that you provide. For more information on the shipping instructions for the ARC drive, you can visit whatonearthishappening.com/ARC. whatonearthishappening.com/ARC for the amazing repository of knowledge offer. What on Earth is Happening donation gifts is where you can get hard copies of any of my work, including DVDs, flash drives, the One Great Work collection, the Natural Law documentary, men and women's t-shirts, coasters, stickers, buttons, keychains. And we also make available technology donations, which I'd like to briefly show you and give you an update. So technology donations is an area of What on Earth is Happening donation gifts. This is the website right here, where you can make a donation for a large item that we require for the operation of What on Earth is Happening, One Great Work Network, and How to Become the True Media. You can click this category right here on the right, lit up there in blue, technology donations, or you can click categories and you can go to technology donations, which is the first category in the upper left. Clicking that will show you the item which we currently require, if there are any in the category. And you can click that, and this will give you the description. So there's the picture of the computer I'm looking to buy and the description. And it says, Mark Passio needs a Mac Studio for his own creative and office computer. This donation, if you choose to make one, will be contributed solely to fund the purchase of a new Mac Studio for Mark Passio. We have raised $2,600 out of the $6,000 that we require to get this spec'd out Mac Studio so far. So thank you so much to everyone who has donated. I really, in a very deeply appreciative way, really appreciate the donations that have come in to the What on Earth is Happening cause. We would not be able to do the show, have the technology that we have at our disposal, and continue to operate if people weren't generous in this form. So we are almost halfway to our goal for the Mac Studio. So thank you to everyone who has donated so far. So that was just a quick update on that. Let me jump back into my slides. So gifts.whatonearthishappening.com for hard copies of my work. t-shirts and other promotional items, and tech donations. If you prefer rather to make a straight donation to the What on Earth is Happening One Great Work Network and how to become the True Media Causes, you can visit whatonearthishappening.com/donate. Tons of donation methods up there, including Cash App, GPay, Wise, Zelle, Amazon tech donations. There is one item on that list. And then 9 cryptocurrencies, check and money order, all the same ways I accept donations on gifts, available there as a straight donation. whatonearthishappening.com/donate. Thank you to all the generous donors who have donated to the What on Earth is Happening cause over the years. Thank you so much. Those are all the housekeeping announcements that I have for this week. And the introductory rants are finished. We'll see if we encounter any other mission rants that we need to go on. But for now, I'm going to close these slides, and we're going to go to the unholy feminine slides. All right, we're in the slideshow. So let's pick up where we left off last week with the definition of Epi-Eugenics. Now, again, the presentation is entitled, over these many weeks that we'll be covering this all-important topic, is the unholy feminine, neo-feminism, and the satanic Epi-Eugenics agenda. So we were defining what Epi-Eugenics meant. So we're starting to get into the meat of the material in the slides now, and we're talking about the crux of what the social engineers, the dark occultists of our world, are actually trying to create. What type of society are they trying to manufacture? Are they trying to engineer? And how are they going about doing that? What is their primary methodology that they are using? And how are they using neo-feminism as a tool, as an implementation to create their new society and the new kinds of people that they want to create to inhabit this new slave society? What is Epi-Eugenics? Epi-Eugenics is the propagation of eugenics, which again is steering human development and steering the characteristics and the genetic makeup of human beings. That is what eugenics is. And it's supposed to be doing that for the better. That's hence the prefix "eu" in ancient Greek in front of genetics, which means good or favorable or better. So eugenics is supposed to be making people stronger, better, and higher-minded, elevating their genetic makeup, elevating their mindset, elevating their characteristics to something better than it was previously. Clearly, they're not doing true eugenics. They're doing what we're going to call in the next slide, Disgenics. Okay, we'll get to that. But it's essentially the propagation of what has been called classical eugenics, okay, steering the characteristics of a human society in the way that the social engineers want, by way of social engineering or mind control. It is not doing it physically anymore. Eugenics was waged physically through forced sterilization, through direct murder of concentrations of populations of beings in society, in human society. It was realized and decided long ago culturally by the dark occultists, by the social engineers running the operations, that this was not the most effective way of doing it, because the population was at least conscious enough to begin connecting information, gathering information, putting together the information that they had gathered into a cohesive worldview, connecting the dots and understanding that they were being culled in some way or changed for the negative in some way. So people began to get wise to classical eugenics. This is when the social engineers decided in earnest, through social engineering think tank operations like Tavistock Institute of Human Relations, like the Bilderberg Group, like the Davos Group, etc., that they were going to do things through mind control, through social engineering, to let the human herd steer itself once the mindset of the herd had the ideas implanted into it by the social engineers, so that they would actually do the bidding of the social engineers for the social engineers so that it would not have to be done directly physically to the population. It would actually be done by the population upon itself through mind control. If you understand that tactic, then you understand the essence of epi-eugenics. Epi-eugenics means to go beyond the techniques of classical eugenics and to do the work of eugenics through mind control. So, epi-eugenics is the propagation of eugenics by way of mind control and selective breeding by the very population which the eugenics strategy is targeted to destroy. That's an incredibly important working definition, folks, that has to be fully incorporated into the mindset before proceeding in this presentation. If you do not understand what that technique is, then you're going to have a hard time understanding why they are structuring neo-feminism in the ways that they are structuring it and putting it out into the population in the form that they are putting it out in. They're doing that to steer the entire society by way of mind control and create the characteristics. They want the population to create the characteristics within itself that the social engineers want to see in the population that makes it easier to rule and eventually destroy. Eugenics strategy. Okay, So one could call this eugenic strategy mind-controlled downbreeding. It's downbreeding the population, making the population downbreed itself by the mind control that is injected into its psyche, into its collective aggregate psyche. It's brilliant. Think about it from their perspective, from the Satanist perspective. If we have to even try to kill the population physically, or sterilize them physically, or force them into ways of doing things physically, even by our, tough man class, by our Neanderthal 8-inch thick eyebrow ridge class of boneheads called the police and the military. They're what they are? They're the boxer from Bugs Bunny, right? That he skates around the ring with the slippery stuff that the boxers put on their shoes. That he skates around and hits the Neanderthal looking dude with like eyebrow. His eyebrow ridges look like rolls of dough. They look like dough loaves before they're baked into bread, sitting on his eyebrows. That's what a Neanderthal loser. And again, I don't want to insult the Neanderthal population by comparing them to the police and the military, but they get it's not even like in the past they just sick their dumb attack dogs of the police and military, these absolute mental midgets that are dumb attack dogs that they just sick on the population at large. They don't even have to do that anymore. They are getting the population to completely change its own characteristics through mind control and social engineering that they inject into the population through the media and popular culture. And they literally get the dumbed down slaves to continue to dumb themselves down, genetically modify themselves through taking poison, through taking shots, through eating garbage, GMO foods, etc. And the population is literally culling itself. It's mind-controlled downbreeding, or in other words, actually getting the herd, the human herd, to cull itself. It's genius. It's genius on the part of the current satanic social engineers. It's a brilliant chess strategy that the moronic human herd doesn't even recognize one bit because they're dumb as a stump. They're dumb as a burnt stump is how dumb this population is, and they don't even see the tactic being used against them. You could even explain it to them, as the Satanists told me I could do endlessly. It's never going to matter. I don't do the work that I do here anymore because I ultimately truly think it's going to ultimately long-term make a difference, to be quite honest. I've said this week after week. I do it because I know that it is the morally right thing to do, and I'm going to continue to do the morally correct thing. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to testify to the reality that is taking place in our world, because that is what creation and the Creator have charged me to do in life. And I'm not going to skirt that responsibility or shirk that charge. I am going to do that. I may be dragged into it kicking and screaming myself and be very bitter and angry about the state of our world, and that's my choice to display that emotion because it's the correct one. It's disappointment, it's aggravation, it's frustration, it's bitterness. Not going to lie. I don't lie about where I'm at. See, that's the difference between someone who's truly on the path and a fucking poser and a moron who's not really on the path, and they're actually in a complete false, illusory form of spirituality. I don't lie about where I'm at. I'm just telling you out in the open. Do these things get to me? Yes, and I don't see a problem with that. I'm okay with being at that point. I don't want to get to this alleged ascended state where nothing bothers you and you can't get angry. That's bullshit. That's bullshit spirituality. Let's get that clear. All the morons out there that think because I'm angry, I'm not enlightened. Fuck you. You don't know how enlightened, how knowledgeable I am. You don't know how far along on the spiritual path I am. Because you see me get angry and use profanity because of other people's fucking weakness that's holding me back and holding everybody else back that wants to progress and evolve. That shouldn't be angering. That shouldn't be concerning. That shouldn't be something that you get in other fucking people's face about because you're doing damage to me. You're holding me back from where I want to be. I don't want to be doing this. This is remedial shit. I'm teaching the remedial retards class. I don't want to keep teaching remedial retards. You should already know this shit. You should be caught the fuck up. You had enough time and you had all the fucking opportunity to do it that I had. And if you don't think so, you're a moron. You squandered that opportunity because you're selfish fucking pricks who want to do just what makes you fucking happy and comfortable, and you don't want to sacrifice for knowledge. That's the problem. You're not really on this fucking spiritual path. You're a fucking poser and a fake and a weakling. And I'm going to tell you that. A person who's really on the spiritual path doesn't blow smoke up other people's ass and tell them they're doing better than they are. You're doing a shit job. Almost all of you. Some of you are doing wonderful. I'm serious. People who are doing great and are doing what they're supposed to do and are fulfilling the requirements, you guys are fucking awesome. And you should not hear my harsh and vitriolic words applied to yourself. Do not, if they don't apply to you, don't think that they apply to you. And if they do apply to you, try not to ignore it and say, oh, that doesn't apply to me. It does. The people who it really applies to, you know who the fuck I'm talking about, and you know it's you. And the people who have actually done what they're required to do, you know I'm not talking about you. You guys have done a wonderful job. Keep doing it. Keep trying to get the word out to other people. And, you know, my harsh words are not for you. Let's get that clear. Okay? So, going back to the topic of Epi-Eugenics, you have to give credit where it's due. Like, I don't lie in not only what the general population is doing and how poorly they're doing. I'm not going to lie to the social engineers, the dark occultists, the Satanists, the dark Luciferians. Let's get that straight. I'm going to tell them they're doing their job perfectly. These guys are fucking impeccable. Let's just talk straight talk. If they're before me, I'm not taking out a weapon. I'm not going to try to harm them. I'm not going to do anything negative to the real social engineer class. Honestly, I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. And I'm not saying this just for effect. I would extend my hand. And I would say I would like to shake your hand because you are a brilliant tactician. I think you're a total piece of shit as a human being. I think you're fucking the lowest depravity of evil that could incarnate into this plane. But guess what? You're on your fucking game. You got your act together. These guys have their motherfucking act together, boys. Let me tell you, they know what they're doing. and they don't talk shit and then don't back it up. They talk their shit and then they get it done. And I can have nothing but respect for that as an opponent. As an opponent, I have to extend my hand and say, you guys are on your game and you have done exactly what you need to be doing. So in that respect, I do not resent, loathe, and hate these people. Who I resent, loathe, and can't stand, and just really want to kick in I want to put a foot up the ass of, are the people who say they want to be free and say that they really want to attack the agenda of these dark social engineers and defeat it. What you guys have done is absolutely deplorable. You're so off your game, it's laughable. Your masters do not see you as a threat at all. You're not a threat to them. You're a joke to them. They are laughing at your fucking face and they are laughing up your ass. And you deserve it. You suck at what you do. You're garbage at what you do. You are not fulfilling any of the requirements for freedom. You do not yet truly understand the causal factors for freedom. You want to cherry pick what you are comfortable paying attention to. When something interferes with your bullshit religious view that you stay clinging to like a maggot to a dead corpse, then all of a sudden the guy telling you that you're a bullshit thinker and attached to some bullshit religion, he's the bad guy and he's lying to you. No, I'm the one telling you the truth about the bullshit beliefs running through your thick fucking skull that you don't want to abandon, that you want to keep feeding, and all it's doing is it's a fucking parasite eating you alive from the inside of your psyche. And you're too stupid to see it. You want to stay attached to all kinds of nonsense. And you don't want to listen, you want to get offended when somebody tells you the actual things that you're doing are never helping you. All they're ever doing is harming you, and they're harming people around you, and they're harming the goal that you say you're trying to get to. You're harming your progress, moving forward on the goal that you say you want to get to, which is true freedom. You're not making progress toward that goal because you won't get the ego silenced. You won't wrap the fucking ego up in a straitjacket and silence it so that real learning can come in. You still have all this ego bullshit chatter. And people tell me this, folks. Look, the reason I don't have any intention of altering my strategy or approach is because it eventually reaches the correct people. I know this, and I have a modicum of faith that this is not only how the process does work, that this is how the process is supposed to work. I am not here. Mark Passio is not here for the weakling children of the world. I am here for the people who are going to eventually hear, process, and integrate and act upon what I've said. And when that happens eventually, it will have reached the truly strong. I'm not here for the dross, the people who are low-hanging fruit. I'm not here for the people who are they're never really going to be the people to move the ball down the field. I'm not here for the detritus, the trash. I'm not here to do that work. I am here to take the people who are already very strong and just need a little bit of a kick in the ass to push them over the line and make them truly strong and awakened so that they can become the warriors of the world. I am not here to teach or fucking activate the complete weak. If you're one of the complete weaklings who can't hear hardcore truth, you might as well just shut the fucking show off now. Go fucking watch some mindless fucking entertainment or for some shit ball game. And this is not the place for you. Okay? This is tailored for the strong. The truly spiritually strong. I'm not looking for weaklings. I'm looking for the strong that just need a little bit of a foot in their ass to put them more toward their fucking goal. Okay? So, I get emails written to me some days. And these are the ones that keep me going. These are the ones that make me want to continue the next show next week. They're the people who make me want to continue teaching how to become the true media. They're the people who make me want to continue building out One Great Work Network. Because for them, it's not futile. For most people, it is futile. But I get emails from people that tell me, Mark, I would listen to your shows in the past and I couldn't hear at all what you were saying. I could not hear it. It was literally like you were speaking another language to me. I was so in my ego mindset that I could not hear that what you were telling me that I was doing to myself was poisoning my own self and making myself weaker and more enslaved, and in doing so, helping the process of enslaving other people move to its goal and completion even quicker. I couldn't hear that message. It was not sinking into my conscious mind because all the programming in my subconscious mind was in the way. And they tell me, I didn't give up on it. I kept listening and listening. And these are the people who didn't spout verbal diarrhea. They did the correct thing and they attempted to silence their ego bullshit, which I talked about. If you're bringing your ego bullshit into a presentation like this, you're not going to learn a fucking thing. You have to leave your ego bullshit at the door and you have to be willing to listen all the way through. You have to toughen yourself so that you can listen all the way through. At this point, I'm not giving information away for free. Even though the show is gratis free, you're going to have to go through my mental toughening up procedure on your weak ass to toughen yourself up to really hear the truth. That's why I'm going to give it to you over a slow period of time with a lot of fucking rants in the middle of it, because you're going to hear the things you need to hear. And they are going to toughen you over time if you get your ego bullshit out of the way. If you give into your ego bullshit and you just say, that can't be right because it conflicts with what I already believe, or I don't like the way he's saying that angrily, I'm shutting it off. Well, guess what? Then you're the fucking weakling with a bunch of ego bullshit that's going to do nothing but harm you. It's your fucking funeral. Shut it the fuck off. No problem. You're just proving that I'm correct and you're a weakling. That's all you're doing by acting like that. If you really want to hear the fucking wisdom of what I'm trying to lay out to you, which I don't have to do, I could choose not to do this and fucking go bowling and drink a beer, which is what I'd rather be doing. But if you really want to fucking hear what's really going on in the world and what you could do to really change it for the better and get all the toxic poison out of the mind that's keeping us enslaved, then get the ego bullshit out of your mind, be fully present, and fucking listen. And you'll learn a thing or two. Okay? So, just want to say, they write back to me years later, and then they say, I didn't give up on the process. I kept listening. I kept trying to silence my mind. I kept trying to let my egotistical belief system keep overpowering what you're saying, so I couldn't hear it. All I'm hearing is my programmed mind chattering around in the walls between my fucking skull, and I'm not actually present and listening. And then people say years later, they finally were able to silence all that chatter, or most of it, so the actual voice, the message could actually come through and inform them correctly. Then they start doing their own research, and before you know it, they're off to the fucking races, learning about what have been talking about since day one, and they're corroborating it, and they're coming to the same conclusions, and they're realizing I've been telling them the truth all along. That's been my only intention. That's been my only goal. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to research what I'm looking into and confirm it as accurate, because I've put it through the trivium process and I have vetted it as being accurate. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about it, or I would be telling you that it's speculative only. I have talked about some things that I say I don't have the complete knowledge of. It's a form of speculation, and we can speculate and we can theorize. This is not that. This is vetted information on how things work, not only from a knowledge-based perspective, but on an experience-based perspective, because I worked with these people. I worked with these social engineers. I was in the satanic hierarchy as a priest, working with this priest class myself in my life. So the other thing I also don't take kindly to is for people to tell me my experiences in life didn't happen. That's not going to go too well, especially if you're in my physical presence. Okay? I lived what I lived through. You want to call me a fucking liar? Do that to my fucking face and tell me I didn't live what I lived and go through the experiences that I went through. I showed people the documentation from Anton LaVey and Blanche Barton making me a priest in the Church of Satan organization, which is just a tiny, tiny little low-down piece. It's a low-down degree on the big pyramidal structure that is the Satanic Network. It's hardly anything compared to where it goes. And I had dealings with other groups, and I had dealings with higher up people that weren't even members of the Church of Satan in the way that you look at that. The Church of Satan is just a small operative organization within the whole hierarchy of Satanism and social engineering in our world. For people to think that that controls it is like as ignorant as the people who think the Masonic Lodge down the block from them controls the world. It's like you don't understand the occult at all if that's how you think. You're a little naive fucking child that thinks unidimensionally about the occult and how it operates in the world. It's far more complex and structured than all of that. And it has tentacles everywhere. And they interconnect with each other in ways that takes a lot of study to unwind and to see the pattern. So for people to tell me, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not putting out accurate information, or I'm somehow theorizing. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, losers. I'm not theorizing about anything. I was involved in the satanic hierarchy that actually runs this fucking shitball planet. And I lived it experientially in my life, in my actual experiences of life. So come to my face and tell me I didn't live what I live and I didn't actually experience the things that I actually experienced in life. And see what fucking happens to you in real life. Because I'm not going to sit there as a man and be told by some know-nothing shit punk that I didn't live what I lived. You get knocked the fuck out is what'll happen. You want to press that button, you'll fucking press it. And there won't be any unexploding the bomb that's going to go off in your face if you try to press that fucking button. You think I'm some fucking pussy that's going to sit there and have somebody tell me I didn't live what I lived. Your teeth will be on the fucking ground. So let's look at Epi-Eugenics. Yeah, don't think because I'm spiritually awakened that I'm not going to throw a vicious left hook at somebody that tells me I didn't live my life the way that was actually played out. Thankfully, nobody's ever done that because I probably wouldn't be here. I'd either be dead or in a jail cell because of what I would have done. I've had to talk a couple people down off that ledge. 1 or 2 times. They started trying to go down that path, and I backed them up real fast and said, you want to keep going down this path? You're sitting there telling a fucking man he didn't live the experiences that he lived. Think about what you're doing, because it ain't going to end too well. I'm not going to tolerate shit like that, especially in person. People want to talk shit online because they're safe. It is very important to understand that eugenics is not just about population reduction. This is what people think is the only point of eugenics is population reduction. It is not just about population reduction. Ultimately, all forms of eugenics waged in the world by the social engineers is ultimately about controlling which human characteristics ever get expressed in human society. Let me just say that again. Listen and understand. People think that eugenics is just killing populations you don't like. That's classical eugenics in one of its forms. That is not what eugenics is in its totality. It is not just population reduction. It is social engineers trying to control which characteristics of humanity are ever expressed in the population of humanity. If they can control the characteristics, they can control the outcome. People's characteristics are largely going to contribute to their behavior. Then their behavior is largely going to determine the quality of the outcome that is generated, called the human condition. That is why the social engineers want to control human characteristics, not just how many people are in the world. They want to control what are the characteristics of the people who are in the world. Try to intelligently, holistically, not in a dumbed down, simplistic, unidimensional way. Try to understand eugenics in a multidimensional way. It means more than what most people who have ever attempted to describe it think it means. You have to expand your worldview, and you have to expand your ultimate working definition of what eugenics even is, and how it's used as a tool by the ruling class. So it is about controlling which characteristics ultimately ever get expressed in human society by breeding certain desired characteristics into the gene pool and breeding other undesirable characteristics out of the gene pool. How do they do this? That's what we're going to look at in this presentation. They want to create certain characteristics, and they want to stop other characteristics from ever expressing in the population. That's not an easy task. That is done through controlling how whole groups of people think. You have to have their mindset so that you own their behavior. You have to own their mindset first, then you're going to own their behavior. You're going to own who they choose to breed with, how they choose to breed, and then what characteristics get bred out on the other side. Then you're going to control the whole population. You're going to do it before the population is even taking new actions or learning any new things, because you're going to actually steer the characteristics that get bred into that society by people who don't even know they're the ones doing the selective breeding and controlled breeding for you. That's what Epi-Eugenics is. And folks, this is exactly what's going on. This is exactly how it works. I'm giving you the entire playbook here. If you are non-egotistical enough to get the chatter of the mind out of the way and actually listen to what's being said, you will come out on the other side far more intelligent, and you will understand what has been done to you. You will understand how debased and degraded these social engineers have made you in most cases. Not in all cases. Some people have escaped the mind control and the social engineering, but it's few and far between, I'll tell you that. They've gotten most people, including my viewing audience. They've gotten most of you too. They may have not have gotten all of you, but I guarantee you they've gotten the bulk of you as well, especially on this topic. Especially on this topic. And that goes for men and women as well. That goes not only for women, who this presentation is particularly about, that goes for men as well. Let's not exclude anybody, okay? Or turn this into a bash of either gender, okay? I'm going to call it out for what it is, and I'm going to call the people who are falling for the agenda out as well, regardless of who they are. All right, so let's move on. What we are really talking about here is not just eugenics or epi-eugenics. We are actually talking about disgenics and epi-disgenics. The more accurate term for what these satanic ruling class social engineers do is they are performing upon the human herd the process of epi-disgenics. That is really what they are doing. As I said last week, I actually am a eugenicist. I believe in eugenics in the true definitional sense of what eugenics means. It means to strengthen a population by strengthening its characteristics and then ultimately its genetic expression of those characteristics in the world at large. That's making a population strong. That's making them intelligent. That's making them driven. That's making them courageous. That's making them spiritually advanced. That's making them self-actualized. That's making them holistically intelligent. That's making them more free. All of those things. Why wouldn't I want any of those things? That's what true eugenics is. I have been trying to perform epi-eugenics upon the population by what I teach. I'm helping to influence their mind for the better so that their actual characteristics are strengthened. And as a result, the whole population is strengthened. I'm truly pro-human. That is what a true epi-eugenicist does. A true de-occultist, by definition, if they are teaching natural law and objective morality out into the whole human population, is by definition an epi-eugenicist, if you really think about what the term means. So, by my own admission, this presentation would have probably been more accurately called Unholy Feminine, Neo-Feminism, and the Satanic Epi-Disgenics Agenda. That's what I should have called it. I put out the actual presentation name and stuck with that name, and then I thought about it while making the presentation. This isn't eugenics, this is Disgenics. So I should have called it Epi-Disgenics Agenda. But, okay, it is what it is. The name is out there. It was printed. That's what the name of the presentation was. But I'm just explaining they aren't really doing eugenics. They're debasing the population. They're degrading the population. They're giving us poison everywhere. They're trying to dumb us down. You know, they're giving us poison in the food, water, air, so-called medicine, in the education system, in the media system. The social engineers of our society are not truly eugenicists. The root word, the prefix eu in Greek means good. It means to develop for the better. It means to enhance, etc. They're not doing that. They're degrading it. They are creating people with horrible traits and characteristics through the manipulation of human biology and the manipulation of human consciousness via chemicals in our food, water, and air, in addition to radionic fields. This is what they're really masters of. And again, if you don't think this is going on, you have no understanding of the advancements in modern technology that this technocratic occultocracy, the occult ruling class, they are a technocratic occultocracy, as we will talk about, that is actually ruling us. Okay? These are technological sorcerers. Whether they really fully understand the technology themselves, or they just control the direction of the technology by hiring people, by hiring order followers, by hiring yes men, by hiring dumb left-brained eggheads who will do their bidding for them and create all the technology like mad scientists for them, right? Or if they really are part of the priest class that understands the interconnection between the technology and the way it controls the human mind, like people like Yuval Harari, one of the Satanists, one of the absolute sick, dark Luciferian technocratic priest class, and a cancer upon the body of humanity. And I mean, this guy is a full-blown antichrist. Full-blown satanic mindset antichrist in the ideas he puts out into the world, in how sick and twisted and left-brain fucked up his soul. You are so broken, boy. Let me tell you, your soul is fucked the fuck up. You are demon inhabited, son. Yuval Harari is one of the most demonic forces on this planet at this time in human history. Anybody listening to this guy like he's some intelligent person, you're so fucking duped, you're so dumbed down yourself, you're listening to an absolute antichrist. And I don't mean that in the biblical religious sense of the term. I mean, this is a person who, if you latch onto his ideas, it devastates any possibility for true spiritual awakening and Christ consciousness to emerge in the being. He is a poisoning agent of the mind and the heart and the soul. That is what Harari is. So he's one of the people I'm talking about here. Part of the social engineer, occult, technocratic ruling class, who's putting out completely poisonous ideas. And I'm telling you, they not only do this through physical means, through the food, the water, the air, through things laughingly called drugs and medicine, through things laughingly called food, through things laughingly called education. They poison the mind through education, which is nothing of the kind. It's indoctrination through mind control. methodologies, having removed the trivium from the educational system. They poison our mind through the media. That's one lie after another, after another, after another, with completely tied to a poisonous, purely materialistic worldview. They poison the body through the spraying operations that they do, and still people in this whole community say, they're persistent contrails. It's just water vapor that lingers all day. I mean, you okay, Mr. Meteorologist, like, you know what the fuck you're talking about. You haven't studied one aspect of the physics. You haven't studied one aspect of the science. Again, it's just people just verbal splatteria on the fucking keyboard saying that they know what they're talking about. And you've done zero data gathering. You don't have the trivium in hand at all. You haven't put one piece of grammar together, and there's endless information that you're willfully ignoring. You won't even look at the data set. That's what a pseudoscientist does. That's not a person with the trivium in hand. That's not the person with the scientific methodology in hand. There's so much evidence, we're drowning in it. And people would say they're not actually spraying particulate matter into the atmosphere. They're admitting it themselves. There's patents for it. Governments have admitted it. They talked about it out in the open. That not only is it a strategy for the future, that they're actively doing it. And they spray alkaline earth metals in nanoparticulate size into the atmosphere, which is one of the most dangerous things that can be done, not only for human health, but for the environment as well. And people still don't understand this in the year 2024. I've been studying the spraying operations, whether you want to call it chemtrails or stratospheric aerosol injection or whatever technical name they have, geoengineering, it doesn't matter what you want to call it. It's aerosolized nanoparticulate spraying from the alkaline earth metal family of elements. And that I've been studying that, and that's actively been going on since at least the early 1990s. I've been aware of it and studying it and documenting it since around 1996. You know? I mean, imagine. I mean, think about that. I mean, that's like 28 years. I've been aware of and attempting to expose that agenda for like almost 30 fucking years. And there's still people in this community that are denialists about nanoparticulate aerosol injection and spraying. And then that these alkaline earth metals then fall to the earth and go into our food, go into our soil, alkalize the soil, which is one of the things that devastates nutrient density of food more than anything else and is fucking people's health up more than any other factor. They're absolutely steering long-term macro weather patterns with it. You know, it's part of this agenda in a very macro way. You know, the sea of energy and the sea of air and water that we exist in the land, it's like a fish in a tank. You poison that, you poison all the fish in the tank. And that's what they're doing through this operation. People don't even understand the scale of it. It's incomprehensible for most people, and most people are so scientifically dumb and don't understand the trivium process and how it works that they don't have the grammar in hand and won't look at the grammar. They won't look at the data block, the actual data set that they need to study to have the information in hand before they start trying to make conclusions upon it. They're putting their rhetoric before their grammar. Forget the logic. They're not even putting logic before the grammar process. They're trying to reverse the beginning and the end of the trivium. They're switching the trivium completely reversed, and they're putting rhetoric, your conclusion, first. I mean, it's a fucking mental midget child. Is what it is. It's sad. It's sad. I feel so horrifically bad for people who think at that level because they're retarded. You're actually mentally retarded. You know? I'm not saying that like to be a prick trying to like piss people off. It's literally true that is a form of mental retardation. That you literally cannot gauge the data set that reality is giving to you and putting on your plate and actually look at that data set objectively without some preformed notion and then move on to the logical process, then move on to the rhetoric or what you're going to do with it or about it. This is how distorted people, this is the proof of Epi-Disgenics. This is the proof that the mind control of the occult ruling class is completely successful. 100% completely successful. Like I said, I don't want to kill these people. I don't want to harm these people. I want to shake their fucking hand and go, man, you guys are fucking masters. You guys are chess masters at the way you play this game. You guys have mastered every aspect, every element of it. And the population at large, they don't even know they're fucking playing. They're just dumb fucks out there living their life completely unconsciously and being poisoned the whole fucking time. And this agenda of neo-feminism is just another aspect of mental poisoning. It's called full spectrum dominance attack. When a military campaign or some type of warfare campaign wants to completely dominate and devastate the enemy, they wage a campaign of full spectrum dominance. That means you're going to dominate information. That means you're going to dominate communication. That means you're going to dominate education. That means you're going to dominate physically. That means you're going to dominate the mindset. That means you're going to dominate in the media. You're going to dominate every aspect of the enemy's possible avenue of winning and possible avenue of escape. And that is where we're at in our society. They have engaged in a campaign of full spectrum dominance in phys war, in psi war, and in spiritual war. They were waging the three warfare campaigns. Physical war through the physical aspects of our being. Food, air, water, the whole environment. We're talking about poisoning the tank of water, okay? This is terrain theory, right? You poison the tank to poison the fish. You want the fish to become healthy again, you got to clean the tank. You know? You don't focus on the symptoms and then try to treat the fish for the symptoms if the water is still fucking completely poisoned. And that's what we have. We have 100% satanic degradation of our entire environment through physical warfare, through the body, through mental warfare, psychological warfare called psi war, all attacks through media, through disinformation, through the education system, through the removal of the trivium. People don't know how to think, so they can't think correctly. And then you add spiritual war. You give people endless religions that are all bullshit. You give people the New Age movement, which is just a false form of spirituality, as I've talked about endlessly, to try to tell them they're on the spiritual path, when in fact none of the characteristics or aspects of the form of spirituality that they're allegedly intaking into their mindset and into their psyche is true spirituality. You're giving them dumbed down, watered down versions of the real thing. And then people think they're somehow on the spiritual path. This is what in the Rosicrucian mystery traditions they refer to as the Luciferic path. You're not on the middle path of true ascension, right? You're either on the Luciferic path, which is false spirituality and false light, or you're on the Ahrimanic path. The Ahrimanic path is the true left-hand path, Satanism. Okay, dark occultism. You're going into the fully negative and distorted aspects of occultism, which in every tradition, spiritually and occultically, there is always a dark side. Whether we're talking about the Hebrew Kabbalah, you have the dark side of that, the Qliphoth. Whether you have Freemasonry, you have what I call true Freemasonry or light Masonry, and then dark Masonry, the dark builders. In Rosicrucian teachings, they split this between the true spiritual path that they are trying to get out there in the light form of Rosicrucianism, and then you have a false form of Rosicrucianism, and that could be the Luciferic pathway. And again, the Ahrimanic would be the fully satanic in their tradition. And you study any spiritual tradition, they're always going to have a breakdown of some kind like that, where people who understand the knowledge of the psyche and begin to understand how the world really operates, some of them, if their consciousness is low, they're going to go into the left-hand side of it, the left-hand path. Some of them, they're going to drift off in a hazy spiritual haze, this non-grounded form of spirituality that isn't real spirituality. It's this love and light, everything is good, I can't hear anything negative bullshit form of so-called spiritualism that isn't spiritual at all. Spirituality is engaging in the truth regardless of how horrifying it is. Again, the steps of true spiritual initiation are Stop lying, especially to yourself. Stop dreaming and imagining the world to be some other way except the way that it actually is. That's where you start from. Learn how to think. Stop buying into misinformation and truly engage the trivia method of truth discovery and truly learn how to gather the grammar, then analyze it, then come to accurate conclusions on it and do the right thing with it. Live in the present moment, full present moment awareness, so you can engage in the spiritual currencies, your time and your attention fully, instead of in a distorted way, in a way that's not going to really lead to anything truly beneficial in life because you're not really paying attention and learning and growing. You have to silence the ego. You have to silence the chatter of the mind through learning transcendental meditation, silencing the mind, letting it empty temporarily for new learning to come in. That's the true process of learning. That's learning how to think. It's part of learning how to think. You don't do that with zero filter. You have to then filter the information after gathering the grammar to weed out the inconsistencies in it, come to an accurate understanding of what the whole data set means, and then do the right thing with it. That's grammar, logic, rhetoric, or knowledge, understanding, wisdom, the 3 steps of the trivium process that comprise how to truly think. And then the final step, which shouldn't be ignored during all the others, is activate the physical body. The physical health and strength of the body and high level functioning of the body should not be ignored, because you're going to need it probably to physically fight at some point. You can't rule out people aren't going to get this, and eventually there's going to be a physical fight. If you take that off the table, you're already enslaved. You never take that option off the table that you're going to physically have to defend yourself. Because bad people may eventually physically try to shut our rights down. They're already doing it. They're doing it through duress. They're going to eventually come in a campaign of real warfare, in real phys war at some point, against the human population. And the human population should never give up their right to self-defense, and they should never give up the health of the body and the activation of the body, because they should always be ready for that fight. Because it's going to come. I can guarantee you. If you don't think that point's going to come, you're a naive fuck. All right, so let's get it straight what these people really are. They're not even epi-eugenicists. As I said, I'm an epi-eugenicist. Okay, that would really be doing a good thing, because eugenics is not a bad thing. We have to stop even seeing the term as a bad thing. To do race-based eugenics, as it's called, is definitely an immoral piece of trash thing to ever even conceive, let alone act upon, like the Nazis did. Okay? These people really aren't doing epi-eugenics, which is strengthening the population, not debasing it. They're debasing it. They're degrading it. They're trying to inbreed into the human population through mind control horrific, weakening traits and characteristics. That's Epi-Disgenics. That's what we're really talking about that the social engineer class does. Instead of eugenics and epi-eugenics, it would be much more accurate to refer to the strategies of these social engineers as disgenics and epi-disgenics, respectively, since these tactics are being used to weaken and destroy target populations instead of improving them. Okay? It's all here in the slides, folks. Plus, you add what I'm saying to clarify and enhance it. That's why we're doing this as an extended, revisited, and extended presentation series. Okay? If you just listen, you'll understand the conceptual idea, and you'll be able to then express it to other people accurately. So, if we're talking about Satanism and the dark occult world, we have to define terms. You have to accurately understand. If I'm telling you this is a satanic agenda, and it is, it's a satanic epi-disgenics agenda, okay? We have to really know what Satanism is. And even harder than explaining what real eugenics, epi-eugenics, epi-disgenics, etc. is, harder than doing that with the dumb human herd that wants to believe whatever the fuck they want to believe. They want to believe, oh, this means something that I've been told in school or by my teacher or by my priest or by my mom, and I don't want to look at anybody else's definition of anything. I just have it in my mind. This is what it is. Fuck you if you believe otherwise. That's staying rigidly attached to your bullshit, egotistical belief system, instead of listening and learning from someone with more knowledge and more experience than you, that's giving you all of the understanding selflessly so that you can come to an accurate understanding by researching it yourself. And you research this stuff, you will come to the right conclusion, because I'm not telling you something that is false. I'm telling you the truth regarding it to the best of my ability. The problem is that this is one of the most difficult tasks that I have ever had to venture upon. And I'm going to really belabor this part of the presentation. I'm going to really explore this in depth. I'm not going to make it a whole other presentation on Satanism, but we really have to talk about some aspects of this because it bothers me deeply. And here's why. I still, to this day, have people telling me that I am not accurate about what Satanism is, and they, who have had zero dealings in the world of the occult in their own experience of their lives, in their profound ignorance that came from some bullshit religionist telling them a definition, that they have more knowledge than my years of lived life experience, actually directly a member, and not only a member of this religious denomination, but one of its clergy members. I was clergy in the satanic religion. And I have other groups of people telling me, Mark, you hurt your whole operation by ever telling anybody that you were a priest within Satanism and within the satanic religion. Because as soon as stupid motherfuckers hear that you were ever stupid religious fucking dolts, you're detritus dolts. There's a tag for your fucking t-shirt. Wear that t-shirt. I'm a detritus dolt. That means you're a dumb motherfucker made of trash. That's literally what these people are who buy into religious indoctrination and religious belief systems. You're a detritus dolt. There's your new term for the day. Put it on a fucking t-shirt and wear it out in the fucking public to let everybody know what you are. You're a fucking dumb piece of trash. Okay? Because you've bought into this notion that religion is going to tell you the truth about Satanism. How fucking dumb of a low-life asshole can you possibly fucking be, loser? Religion's going to tell you all about what you need to know about Satanism's influence in the world and how it's active fucking everywhere on every fucking continent, and ultimately these are the ruling class of our society. A fucking cult took over the world before you were born, you dumb detritus dolt. A cult took over the world millennia before you were ever even fucking dreamed of, loser. And you think your fucking religion is giving you accurate information over the fucking, about the ruling class and their mindset and their religion and their strategies. You're a fucking loser child. Kid. Okay? So, the other thing they tell me, why'd you ever tell people you were a Satanist at any time in your life? Because, why? What am I supposed to do? Ass. Let's put it all out on the fucking table. Ass. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to lie to people? I'm supposed to come out and say, I want you to understand all this information, but let me tell you something. I'm just going to fucking lie to your fucking face outright before we ever even fucking start and tell you, no, I was never a Satanist. I was never involved in what I was actually involved with and lived in my life for many years. Never. No. Clean and pure. I come from your own religious background, as a matter of fact, and I still believe all the fucking things that your dumbass fucking priests taught you. Your religion's not fucking controlled, or is not part of the fucking dialectic that the Satanists have put out there for you to graft onto some bullshit religious belief so you can never learn the fucking truth. No way, man. It's totally fucking pure. Totally pure, unadulterated, had nothing to do with the Satanists and their mindset, polluting it and giving you false ideas so that you're an easier fucking moronic slave to control. No way. No, pure and unadulterated. Your religion. Yours. Only yours. Everybody else's is bullshit. Everybody else's is adulterated, is bullshit, is part of the satanic agenda. Yours, though, it's perfectly clean. You have exactly no worries. You have exactly the truth in your hand. It was never adulterated. It was never changed in any way. Given to you straight from the fucking voice of God, right into your own ear. And you know what the fuck you're talking about as a religionist. You dumb shit child. You're a dumb, dolt child, if that's how you still think. And guess what? Most people do. And probably most of my own listening audience still thinks this way. Probably most of my audience who I'm talking to, I gotta tell you, you're dumbed down fucking detritus dolt. Because a lot of you guys still buy into bullshit religion. You're still fake-ass Christians. You're still fucking dumb religionists. You still say, I agree with Mark about most things, but not about religion. Not about Christianity. Not about Judaism. Not about Islam. I still have fucking morons telling me to convert to Islam, to convert to Judaism. I have morons writing to me, Mark, you should come over to this church, and we're the real denomination. We're the real Christians. You should join us. Mark, why don't you convert to Islam and start reading this aspect of Islam or that, or convert to Sufism? And, like, I've read all your fucking books. I've read all the fucking religious texts. I know more about your religion than you know, moron. It's all bullshit. Unless you understand true objective morality and natural law, disconnected from any of man's systems of belief and structures, you're a fucking sleeping fucking dope. And you don't know what the fuck you're talking about anything going on spiritually or anything in the fucking world at large, for that matter, because you don't even know what the fuck's going on between your own ears, dipshit. You're a dipshit. So going back to the other fucking morons that write to me, would you ever tell people? Let me see if I can get the voice right. As a matter of fact, let's go roll the footage. Let's just roll the footage, shall we? Let's come off the slides for a moment while I get the footage of our special guest here. Give me a moment. I shouldn't have closed it, because we may always have to go to our special guest here at one time or another. Hold on a second while I go back to it. Just have so many directories I got to sift through to get to it. All right. Let's go to our special guest. This is the detritus dolt. And let me see if I can get the voice right. Mark, why did you have to tell everybody that you were a Satanist? Because now they don't want to believe you about anything, because you told them that you were involved in the Church of Satan when you were younger. That was a big mistake, man, and you should have just lied to them out in the open and then showed them that you were a liar to begin with, and that you didn't tell them the truth about yourself and your own life path. I think you should have probably just told them that you were a good, God-fearing Christian and you were never involved in Satanism. Did I get the voice right that time? Thank you. My producer gave me the thumbs up, so I must have done a good job portraying my special guest there. You know? This is where people's mind is at. That I should have just completely, blatantly lied to everybody just to get them to like me. Just to get them to say, I'm just like you. I bought into some bullshit religion like you, and I'm still attached to it like a fucking maggot that's eating fucking dead flesh off of a dead person's bones. That's how attached I am to religion, just like you. I shouldn't have told them. I got involved with your fucking rulers. I got involved with your masters, and they showed me their strategies, and they wanted me to partake of them. And believe me, if I did, you'd be dead by now. One of the things that I know sticks in their craw, what sticks in my craw is that the Satanists told me exactly what the dumb motherfuckers of the world are like and would be like until the day I die. And thank you for telling me the truth, my former brothers, is all I have to say. Here's why I respect you guys. You never lied to me. I'm lied to every single fucking day by people that say that they're on my side now. You guys never lied to me. You told me exactly what the truth was about this world. And it's the people who are in it. And I'll say that. I'll look at your face. I'll say that right to your face. I'll shake your hand as your opponent and current enemy. We're not going to be on the same team or side. But I'm not going to blow smoke up people's ass. And you didn't blow any smoke up my ass. You just told me the truth about the human condition and how fucked up it was. We don't agree on what to do about it, but you did not lie to me about what it was. And I have respect for that. So, these idiots who say that they're on my side would just have me lie to everybody before I even come out the gate. Imagine that. First of all, that tells you who they are. That tells you who they are. They want me to immediately tell people complete fucking falsities about what I'm getting ready to talk to them about and hide a huge part of my life and my past just so that they're more likely to listen to what I'm saying now. Is that doing anybody a service? Is that doing any real good in the world? Are you teaching anybody really anything about themselves or who you are or how to behave or how to go about telling the truth to the whole world? No. That's a weakling's approach. That's taking the easy way out. That's saying, because it'll be easier for me, let's do it that way, even if it's based on a lie. And I'm not going to do it the easy way. I'm going to do it the hard way, even if the hard way is the only right way. This is another tenet in how to become the true media. Don't you know? Wouldn't you know? I teach this as a tenet of my tech class, of my tech seminar. It's called Don't Look for Shortcuts. There aren't any. There's no such thing as a shortcut to get to your goal. You got to do it in the true progression of nature, and you got to do it the right way, even if the right way is the hardest way. Stop spending your time looking for an end run, looking for a shortcut, looking for some fucking workaround. You got to power through the problem directly, confront it head on, tell the truth about it, diagnose it accurately, then do what is required to be done. And you can do that kicking and screaming the whole fucking way if you choose. You could do that in a bitter way. I'm personally kind of going along with it in a kicking and screaming bitter fucking way, only because other people won't make the decision to do it the right way and still look for shortcuts. And then they make my job harder because I have more weight to fucking carry. I got more weight to pull up the fucking mountain. If other people actually didn't look for shortcuts and did it the right way and accepted the fucking burden, then many hands would make light work. And my burden of fucking tugging the fucking weight up the fucking mountain would not be as hard as it is. That's why I'm bitter. Not for having to do it at all, for having such a shit team to do it with. And I gotta be honest about it. I'm not an apologist for humanity. I'm not here. I'm gonna tell you, I am on the side of humanity. I am not going to tell people within the body of humanity that they're doing a good job when I know they're not. That doesn't strengthen them, that doesn't toughen them, and that's me lying to them about how well they're doing fulfilling the requirements for getting to their stated destination and goal. And I'm not going to do that. So, why did I tell people that I was formerly a Satanist and involved with the Church of Satan and a priest in the priest class of the dark occult hierarchy? Because it's true. And I did live that experience. So, if someone who was the clergy of a particular religion is telling you that this is the ideology and the belief system and the tenets of the religious tradition that I was a clergy member within. Do you think maybe you should shut your fucking mouth about what you think you know about it and pay fucking attention to what I'm telling you it really is? Instead of listening to some other dumb detritus dolt in another fucking moron priest class who knows nothing about what Satanism really is, give you his bullshit religious interpretation that's completely false of what he falsely believes Satanism to be? As a former member of the religion of Satanism and a former priest within the religion of Satanism who does not want to see this religion continue to own and conquer this planet and its people, and actually wants to see this religion destroyed because it is the one that is truly enslaving the population and created all the other religions, which is giving them their dumb dolt ideas and dissuading them from going down the real path of spirituality that could truly lead to true freedom. I am trying to tell you what this religion really is, what it comprises, what its beliefs are, what its tenets are. So clean the shit out from between your ears and listen, dolts. This is what Satanism really is, not what your asshole religious priest class who doesn't want you to learn what it is because they're probably a subset of the satanic priest class within your bullshit religion. Yeah, that's how it really works. They put their point people in every institution, including your bullshit religion. They're telling you a false idea of what Satanism is, so you never learn what it really is, and you never learn who's controlling not only your religion, but your fucking mind, loser. Let's define Satanism and look at its tenets, because if we're going to understand how neo-feminism is part of a satanic Epi-Disgenics agenda, we obviously have to define what satanic means. It means that it is of the mindset and religion of Satanism. So let's look at what Satanism actually is. Best working definition that I could come up with of what this entire worldview system is as a religion is this. Satanism is an ancient occult religion. Occult means hidden from the sight of the average, ordinary, everyday person. An occult religion is a covert religion. It's a religion that not everybody even understands as a religion. They might think of it as something else. So it is an occult religion, a hidden, unknown, covert religious tradition. And it's ancient. It's not something that was invented in the modern day. For the idiots out there that think Anton LaVey invented Satanism, you're a fucking moron. Anton LaVey did not invent the religion of Satanism. Anton LaVey was a modern high priest of an organization that practiced and believed in as its main worldview and belief system a form of modern-day Satanism. The Church of Satan is not the totality of what Satanism is. It is not the totality of the satanic religion and network worldwide or historically. If you think that, you are a unidimensional, naive, imbecile thinker. You don't know how to think. You don't know how to widen your worldview and come to an accurate understanding of how things really work that are far more complex than your idiot mud mind can comprehend. Dolt. Clean the shit out of your fucking ears and try to expand your worldview. I know we're dealing with a fucking mud ape worldview, but as the ancient clay ape that the Anunnaki designed you to be, the ancient clay slave ape that they designed you to fucking be, maybe you could improve upon it for 1 millisecond of your degenerate fucking life and listen. Maybe. I know I'm giving you the fucking benefit of the doubt, but I'm gonna fucking try. Satanism is comes from the ancient world Occult, which means hidden, covert, not readily seen, not something that the ordinary Joe Schmo understands, sees, and thinks about. It's hidden for a reason. They want to control you through it, so they don't want you to see it. Religion. Again, we define religion from the Latin verb religare, meaning a system which holds you back from the truth. It's a system of erroneous and dogmatic belief which holds you back from an accurate understanding of how things really work in nature, in the actual, objective, physical, and spiritual reality in which we live. They don't want you understanding how that domain works. They don't want you understanding your internal domain of your psyche. They don't want you to understand the seemingly external domain of how the universal laws work. They want you ignorant of all of that, so you're ignorant of everything that fucking matters. It is an ancient occult religion comprised of diverse, interconnected networks of worldwide adherents. Did I say, dumb detritus dolts out there, it's only Freemasons, it's only members of the Church of Satan, it's only high-ranking religious Jews, it's only high-ranking religious Catholics, it's only high-ranking religious Jesuits? I'm trying to get the voice as accurate as possible, because a million people like this try to give me information that they think I need on a daily basis and actually give me their dumb child's worldview. It's all just Jews. It's all just Zionists. It's all just Jesuits. It's all just Catholics. It's all just the dark papacy. It's all just Freemasons. It's all just Kabbalists. You're idiots. You're fucking idiots. Idiots. Children. Your child. You're a complete fucking child in your moron mentality, dolt. I mean, you really do need the t-shirt, detritus dolt. And just put that out there and let people read it and try to make sense of it, because they're words that you don't hear every day. They're not really colloquially used anymore. Most people don't say those words. And it would just make a big attraction on your fucking chest, and people would try to decipher them. Oh, trash? Oh, an idiot. Trash imbecile. An imbecile made of fucking trash. Great t-shirt for most people out there. You know, most of the human society really should be wearing it, to be honest. Listen to what is said in the definition. Dumbasses, dipshits. It is a diverse, interconnected network worldwide, operating worldwide. That means there are old and young people in it. There are rich and poor people in it. There are every skin color, every racial denomination, every ethnic denomination, every cultural denomination is represented. Every ostensible religious tradition is represented. People who claim to be some other form of religionist, yet they are at their ideological core Satanists. They can claim to be Freemasons, Kabbalists, Rosicrucians, Thelemites, Jains, Buddhists, Hindus, Christians, Muslims, Jews, and every denomination fucking in between. And they can still be Satanists wearing the mask of a religious person, pretending to be of an ostensible religious faith and background, while all the while being part of the satanic network. And this is why these days I really should, I'm going to admit that I'm wrong. I was wrong here. And I'm going to try to correct this in the future. And I'm going to say that I would insist that this is a very, 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 very tiny percentage of the population. And I'm going to say to my friend Jay Parker, you were more accurate regarding the numbers of people who really do practice and believe in Satanism and carry it within their heart and their mind and execute it into the world on a daily basis. It is not 0.0001 of people. Okay? It's probably a much larger percent of the total global human population that this diverse and interconnected network of worldwide adherents of this belief system and set of practices and worldview actually make up. I'm not going to guess at the exact figure, but let's just say it is over a percentage of the human population, much larger than I stated in the past. Okay? Because it has to be. It has to be. They're inculcating more and more and more and more people into this belief system over the years. And all the people who serve the system are de facto Satanists. They're rank and file believers in the satanic system that they serve. So they are Satanists themselves. If we really want to say, okay, who are the top level social engineers within the satanic network and hierarchy, then yes, we are talking about far less than 1% of the population. But where Jay Parker was correct and I was not, is looking at the total population that this interconnected and diverse network comprises, percentage-wise, of the whole human population. It is definitely a far larger number than I have communicated to people in the past. I was wrong about that, and I should make it clear who I'm talking about when I'm talking about the real steering committee here. I'm talking about the highest level councils, the people who are giving the marching orders from the very top of the pyramid level, okay? Those people comprise a small number of humanity. If you put the whole satanic, pyramidal, interconnected, diversified network throughout the whole human population together, and you looked at its numbers, it's staggeringly large. I'm not going to say it's like, half of the body of humanity or anything near that, but it's way bigger than you would believe it to be at first glance. Okay? They have inculcated so many people into this religious mindset that a chunk of the human population has been given their mindset at a lower level of the hierarchy. Okay? So, when I say diverse yet interconnected, hear the words. Don't make up something that you believe it means. It means it's not all one kind of people. They're not all rich old white men. There's men and women. There's rich and poor. There's old and young. There's every background. There's every race. There's every ethnicity. There's every ostensible religion. They come from every institution and walk of life on the whole fucking planet. They're working together toward the same basic goals, which is to dumb the population down. They want to be the ruling class, the administrator class, the controlling class, and everybody else below them is their slaves. Even if they're slaves of a higher level of the hierarchy, they're okay with that, as long as they get to be the ruler over somebody below them, who they think of as their slaves. See, that's the mindset of Satanism. I can be enslaved by somebody on top of me, but as long as I'm the master of somebody below me, I'm perfectly fine with remaining in my level of slavery. And you know what that is? Ultimately, that's a complete fucking loser, low-life piece of trash who doesn't really truly love themselves or anybody else's mindset. That's why I'm going to fight these people. Not because I don't think they're actually truly more driven, more intelligent, better at executing their goals and agendas than the people who claim to be on the side of good. I'm opposing them ideologically, philosophically, and morally because I know that's the right thing to do. Not because I really think these people aren't going to win. I honestly think these people are going to win. The Satanists are going to win. They're going to beat humanity in this battle, and they're going to win, and they're going to dominate, and they're going to enslave, and the people who they dominate and enslave will deserve every single solitary millisecond of it. Because they didn't care about what was right from wrong. They didn't care about stepping up and joining the battle. They didn't care about giving up their comfort level. They didn't care about sacrificing of their own time and energy and effort and resources and actually joining the battle against this dark priest class. And that's why the universe, as a justice machine, is going to dole out justice through natural law to the population of Earth and completely allow them to so richly reap the reward that they have so justly earned, which is called enslavement and death. That's going to be the reward of this species, and it will be completely, utterly, richly deserved. Because the universe is working perfectly as a justice meting out machine. That's what the universe is. It is a machine that metes out justice at all times and places. And it is working perfectly at all times and places. It is humanity that is broken and fucked up, not the universe, not universal law, not the justice meting out engine that the universe actually is. It is a justice providing engine or machine. That is what our universal natural domain actually is. Controlled by the laws of the Creator, by the laws of God, and it is always bringing us the perfect and just consequences of our actions, our mindset, and what we cared enough to do about, or we didn't care enough to do about. And make no mistake about it, that process is flawless and perfect as the Creator itself. Humanity are the fucked up people who can't listen and get their ego out of the way. So, it's diverse, it's interconnected in a complex way. It's not like, oh, Masons run it, and then Jews are below them, or Zionists run it, and then the Freemasons are underneath them, then the Jesuits. No, it's a very complicated, diverse system of beliefs and strategies that you're not going to pick apart and make a simple chart and put names on the chart and it's going to be highly accurate. That's unidimensional thinking that does not work to understand what Satanism is, dumbass. It's far more complex than your idiot chimp brain can comprehend and understand, because you want everything to be simple and fucking easy instead of thinking in a more complex way about it, which is how it really works. They do all in this network and hierarchical structure have some basic ideological similarities. Let's look at what those are, their basic tenets and worldviews. At its ideological core, the religion of Satanism postulates, it puts forward that knowledge of both the human psyche, how our mind and psyche actually function and operate, and the knowledge of how the laws of the universe operate and are in place in our physical reality. So how our internal makeup works and how the universal laws that we see ourselves as, seemingly separate from or outside of, or this is us and that's the natural world. We're the creator. That's the creator. That we're the created. This separation worldview. Instead, see it as the universe is actually what we are a part of, and the laws of the universe not only apply to matter and all of the physical domain, but it applies to us as well, because we're part of it all. There's no separation. Seeing the whole worldview as separate is what Satanism ultimately comes from. They're getting you to see the world in the same separation worldview that they see it as. And the separation that they see, I'll talk about, which is they see law as confining and enslaving them, meaning universal law, which it is not. It is our utmost greatest teacher, nurturer, and evolver. That which helps us to evolve to higher levels of consciousness. It is not that which puts constraints, chains, and shackles upon us, but that which actually sits underneath us and nurtures us and moves us up to higher levels of consciousness in our evolutionary growth and development as a species, as individuals and as a species. Not only is it not a set of shackles and chains, it's the ultimate pathway to true freedom is natural law. Satanists don't see it that way, which we'll get into. But at its ideological core, it says that knowledge of the human psyche and knowledge of the laws of the universe should actually be hidden or occulted and held only by a subclass of human beings, this small subclass of human beings that are the ones who are in the know and then who are actually dictating to everybody underneath them as their subjects. They want to be the kings of this domain. They want to be the kings of earth. They want to be the rulers. They want everybody else under their thumb. This is the most important part of this working definition of what Satanism is, that very few people, except myself, actually get correct and talk about. When people in the freedom-oriented world, when I hear, I just got to say, I just have to say, I hear dumb, childish dolts today in political analysis movement. It shouldn't be called the freedom movement. It should be called the endless political analysis movement. Talking about Satanism as devil worship. If that's what you're putting forward to your fucking listening audience, your viewing audience, and you're telling them all these people do is look at, oh, it's an external deity. Hold on, wait, let's get our specialist. We have a specialist standing by. Let's go to this interview of our specialist, and let's go to him now. Here he is. We have him in studio. You know, Satanism is the worship of the devil. And what these people do is they worship the Sabbatic goat of Mendes. They worship Eliphaz Levi's Baphomet creature, and that's their god, and they think of it as a real entity that they bow down to and they sacrifice people to. You don't know that that's what Satanism is, and that's who they are, and that's who they worship? You guys got a lot of learning to do. This is how dumb these people fucking are. I mean, I have to make a fucking complete mockery and joke, because if not, we'd hit stream, and I would just sit here with my head in my fucking hands for 3 hours and fucking cry over how stupid you fucking are. That's what I would need to do. You're not teaching anybody. You're doing them a fucking disservice, morons. You're telling them a lie that your bullshit religion told you because you're too stupid to understand the truth, and you accepted the bullshit lie that your religious bullshit tradition fed you because it's easier than thinking! That's why I fucking can't stand religion, because of the damage it's done to people's fucking psyches. In the whole fucking world, it's done nothing but make fucking dumb pieces of fucking shit. That's all it's done. And this is who we have on our team. People who can't move the fucking ball down the field because they're so religiously diseased and brainwashed. And then they tell other people fucking lies that their bullshit religion told them, and these people can't understand their real master's mindset, you dumb shit. You're a dumb, dull piece of fucking shit. Everybody who teaches that Satanism is what your bullshit Christian religious fucking priest class told you it was, you dumb shit. You're a dumb fucking mud ape. I really can't take people these days. I really can't. I've been doing this for 17 fucking years. And the morons of today still not only don't know what Satanism is, you're fucking believing in a lie about what it is, and then you're teaching other people the same lie your low-life, dumb fucking ass bought into. You dumb piece of shit. And let me tell you something. If there's one Mark Passio teaching what Satanism really is, there's 100,000 people who think they know what Satanism is and are teaching the fucking bullshit, false, Hollywoodized and Christianized fucking bullshit variation of what they believe it to be, when it has zero resemblance to the truth about what this religion actually is and the damage it's really doing to the fucking world. They won't talk about their actual mindset. They'll only talk about it from their imbecilic religious perspective. Because that's how unidimensionally and dumbed down your fucking thinking is, because you never learned the trivium and you just bought into some bullshit religion. Listen and learn, dolts out there. It is much more highly accurate to understand what Satanists are and what dark occultists in general are, to view them instead of religious priests as ancient dark psychologists, master psychologists. We have to stop thinking of Satanists as people who are like the opposite of a religious priest, like in a church or a synagogue or a mosque. Stop thinking of them like that, like in a building with the Baphomet in the background, the devil goat in the background, and with a congregation performing a black mass. Stop thinking of it that way. You're a moron who's brainwashed by Hollywood and fucking religion to believe in that's what Satanism is. That's nothing to do with Satanism. Not real Satanism. Satanism is a fucking mindset. It's a worldview. It's a way of looking at yourself in the world and a way of looking at other people in the world that then they have inculcated people into and given them a sub-variation of that same mindset so that they can control them, enslave them, and perpetuate the fucking cycle. People are just so fucking dumb and dumbed down and just fucking, they just see everything with a child's view. Grow the fuck up. Learn how it really works. They are ancient, dark psychologists who know every aspect of the workings of the human mind. They have mastered psychology. They can manipulate humans' minds. They can read our motivations, our fears, our dreads, our worries, our anticipations, our anxiety levels. They know every aspect of our internal makeup and framework before we've ever learned a fucking piece of sand on the beach regarding our internal makeup. We haven't learned a drop, and they know the totality of the ocean. They're ancient master psychologists, dark psychologists, manipulator psychologists. That's how you have to see Satanism and its adherents. They know more about you than you know about yourself because you're a dumb dolt not learning about yourself and not learning about the world at large and how it really operates. You have a completely delusional worldview about how you think things work. You don't even know how you work, let alone how the fucking world works. And these people are completely making an ass out of you, dominating and controlling you at every fucking manipulative turn that they steer you through because you're so ignorant. And they know everything about how to do that, and you don't know anything about how it's being done. That's what Satanism is, you dumb shits. They're ancient psychologists who know every aspect about how to manipulate human psychology on a worldwide scale, who hold and wield hidden information or occult knowledge about the psyche and the laws of nature, and they hold that real information back from spreading and becoming common sense knowledge throughout the population of the world for the purpose of exploiting the dumb, ignorant, piece of shit, mud ape masses of humanity. Okay? That's who your fucking masters are, dumb shits. And I'm telling you, people haven't gotten it. They don't understand any part of it as a whole. And, okay, so what if a few fucking tens of thousands of people who have been listening to my work from the beginning get it? Do you think the information, listen, Everybody shut the fuck up and listen to what I'm about to say right now and answer it honestly in your own fucking brain. Do you think the whole human fucking population, in a complete common sense way, understands this basic working definition that I have provided on this one fucking slide out of the hundreds of thousands of fucking slides that I put out over the fucking years? Do you think the whole population understands the information printed on this one fucking slide? If that's not common sense knowledge after me talking about this for 17 fucking years, it's your fucking fault out there. You didn't do your job. You didn't put it out there to the fucking world, losers. You sat on your fucking hands, you sat on your ass with your thumb up your fucking ass as a lazy bitch on your fucking couch who doesn't want to get involved in the real battle taking place, and you didn't teach anybody a fucking thing. And you're telling me I have no right to be this angry when I've given up my whole fucking life to teach this and teach people about what's really going on, you losers? You're fucking lame losers, and I don't want you on my fucking team. And I'll talk about it with vitriol and bitter hatred, which is my decision to do so because I'm expressing the truth about the fucking losers on this side. You're losers. You cannot become losers. You could decide I'm going to crawl out of the fucking pit of being a loser and I'm going to become intelligent and I'm going to become driven and I'm going to become strong, but I don't see any fucking indication of that happening. And then not only people are not fucking getting what Satanism really is and still believing your bullshit fucking child raping fucking priest who's raping fucking children up the fucking ass, you want to believe them over somebody that came from this religion and is trying to give you their fucking playbook. But no, you'll listen to the fucking anal raping fucking child raping fucking priest over somebody who's trying to explain to you what their fucking worldview and mindset are and how they manipulate people into believing what they want them to believe. No, you want to believe they're out in the fucking woods sacrificing goats and cats with black robes and torches, and they worship Baphomet, and that's their whole religion because my priest told me that that's how they roll. As dumb as a fucking wet paper bag full of broken glass bottles. That's how dumb you loser morons are. And I'm tired of pretending that you're not. You know, like the Joker said, he's tired of pretending that people who he thinks deserve to get killed are getting killed, and he's tired of pretending it's not funny. I'm tired of pretending you're not the dumb dolt, Detroitist dolt losers that you actually are out there in fucking TV land. Because you are. And that the people who are this dumb make the world to continue to remain an imprisoned society, an enslaved society. Because your ignorance is what is enslaving all of us. You gotta wake the motherfuck up all the way. Not get a little glimmer of it from your bullshit religion. You gotta shed all that fucking programming. You gotta wake up all the fucking way. And you gotta understand who your rulers really the fuck are. Because they're kicking our ass up and down the fucking street. And they are absolutely winning. And people don't think so. Through the power differential that the Satanists gain by way of manipulating those who remain in ignorance of the occult knowledge that they possess. This small minority who continue to operate in the know want to permanently rule over the masses of humanity and effectively become God on earth. That is the goal of the satanic religion and its highest level adherents. They want to enslave a subset of humanity, which is going to be the bulk of the human population, and they want to exist as the gods of our society. The entrenched, yet continued to be hidden, ruling class that can never be dethroned from their position as rulers, and their progeny can never be dethroned from their positions as a ruling class, because the population is too ignorant to do that, because they don't understand the tactics and the manipulation methods that this priest class uses to enslave the minds of the population and therefore enslave them behaviorally. It is important to understand that, contrary to popular religious belief and Hollywood belief notions that are injected and instilled into the dumbed-down masses of shit apes, that the overwhelmingly vast majority of Satanists in the whole worldwide hierarchy of Satanism, the whole worldwide interconnected diverse network of ancient psychologists who are the ruling class social engineer Satanists, do not worship an externalized portrayal of the Christian deity known as Satan in the Christian mythos and the Christian tradition, the antithesis god of the God of Christianity. They do not worship anything. If anything, you have to see modern Satanists as people who worship their own ego. Their own ego is placed on a pedestal in a state of apotheosis. The ego is elevated to godhood. That is what apotheosis means. Okay? It means to go beyond the God state and elevate something or usurp the position of God. So in politics, they created in the dome of the Capitol the apotheosis of George Washington, viewing him as a god. He's the new Zeus because he was the first president and he's representing the government the God known as government, elevating government to apotheosis, to go beyond godhood. As Jay Parker calls it, Godverment. Great word coined there, you know. That's what it really is. It's people's religion. It's people's God. Just like money is their God. The true one eye, the all-seeing eye. It's right in the name money, the one eye. The true God, the elevation of government to apotheosis, to godhood. In Satanism, all the ultimate goal is the elevation of ego and the elevation of human beings to godhood. It is the apotheosis of the ego and the apotheosis of a small subset of human beings that wants to look at themselves and have themselves be treated on the earth as God and everybody else as their subjects and their slaves. If you don't understand that that's what Satanism is, and it is not worshiping an externalized deity in the form of this bull god with horns and hooves and a tail, it's just a little fucking baby child's worldview of a mindset that is infinitely more insidious than that, and doing something infinitely more dangerous and destructive to the people of this planet than worshiping some fucking externalized entity told in fucking biblical stories. That anybody still believes this religious garbage and can't expand their worldview to an accurate understanding of the satanic mindset and tenets, you're fucking endless, you're an eternal fucking child mentally. I was a priest in the fucking satanic world religion. And I'm telling you, Satanists do not worship Satan. They take the fucking name because it represents rebellion and usurpation of the true God of creation, which some of them don't even believe in, but they like the symbolism of it. Some of them are theistic Satanists and believe they are actually actively rebelling against the God of creation and usurping its place and thwarting its laws. And that is very accurate. That is exactly what they are doing. That is what this subclass of humanity, that is the priest class that is running the fucking world and owns people, that is their mindset. That is what they want to become. They want to become God. They want to be treated as the masters of the entire earth domain, and they want to usurp the place of the Creator, and they want to destroy the Creator's laws and put their own laws in the place of the Creator's laws. And if you don't understand that by now, you're a very naive, dumb shit. And you want to still water things down and dumb them down and look at them unidimensionally like your bullshit religion teaches you to fucking not think. They don't worship Satan in the Christian tradition. Instead, they see Satanism as what I call an ideological way of being in the world. Listen to that again. They view their satanic belief system and network and structure and mindset and worldview as an ideological way of being in this world. It's a way of thinking. It's a worldview. It's a set of beliefs and practices. It's the way you see yourself in the world and the way you see others in the world. And then you're trying to propagate your worldview to others. You're trying to spread it with other people who could potentially be the priest class and the administrative class. And then you're trying to spread it to other people to give them a watered down version of that mindset so that it makes them weaker and easier to rule. A Satanist. The Satanists of the world can only control and enslave human beings who they have inculcated into a lesser variant of their own twisted and degenerate ego-worshipping system of belief. They have to give them a lower level variant of their ego-based religion to put people in a mindset that can never free them from slavery. Satanists view the ego-driven self as the god of their religion. If you don't understand that, you don't understand what Satanism is in the modern day. It is not the worship of the fucking goat of Mendes, the Eliphas Levi goat Baphomet. It is not the worship of anything. It's not the worship of any demons. It's not the belief in demons. It's not the conjuration of demons. It is the belief that the ego is God and that a subsection of humanity will triumph over all of the rest of the body of humanity and become its masters and become its God. And they will rule in hell, in a place that they have turned into hell. This isn't hell. I want to make it clear. I do not see Earth as a hell domain. I don't see it as a hell world. Earth is a place that could become hell. Earth is a place that could be a paradisical place where we learn and grow and become so advanced mentally, spiritually, technologically, that we go on to do things that our brain is so insufficiently developed that we would not even be able to envision the states of consciousness and the states of being that we could possibly arrive at and explore into infinity. That is how advanced humanity could eventually become. And instead, you know what we've chosen? We could build that reality. We could build that paradise. And you know what we've chosen to build? We've chosen to build a mental asylum prison for ourselves and then sit in it for eternity as we slowly rot away into degeneration and fucking extinction within. That's how smart we are right now as a species. So I'm tired of this whole fucking worldview that Earth is hell and needs to be escaped. That's also a dumb detritus dolt worldview, quite frankly. We have to stop looking at it from that perspective because that's what the satanic perspective is. That the earth is a vile, evil fucking hell that needs to be somehow escaped from by we're going to manipulate people and turn it into something that we can have our way in because then while we're still in hell, we're ruling it. Can't you see giving the whole world the belief that earth is hell is another way of giving them a lower level, dumbed down fucking version of their own fucking mindset, which is the whole fucking universe is hell because we're not allowed to do whatever the fuck we want in it and harm anybody we want for whatever reasons we want, and consequence won't come down upon us for doing it. We want to be able to do that with no consequence to ourselves. And the only way we could do that is we could try to insulate ourselves from those dastardly behaviors and mindsets by actually getting other dumber detritus dolts than us, which that should be the police and military shirt. We're the even dumber detritus dolts than the regular population because we've taken on all of the karmic brunt of the satanic ruling class and we're doing their fucking evil behavior for them and we're getting our hands bloody and dirty and they're getting away practically scot-free when it comes to karmic consequence because they only commanded us to do it and then sat back, watched us do it, paid us to do it, but we actually fucking did it with our own fucking hands, our own minds, our own fucking hearts, our own efforts. And then other jerk-off losers try to say that they're not getting the bulk of the karma. I know how karma works. And the universe is looking at the masters way more disfavorably and horribly than they're looking at the slaves who do the master's bidding. Wrong, dumbass. Wrong. Absolutely incorrect. Universal law does not look at what you say or who you give fake fucking toilet paper money to people to fucking do. It doesn't look at that. It'll factor that in a little bit, but in general, in the natural domain of natural law, the universe is not looking at the architect of evil who draws up the plans and who says, now we got to get the even dumber detritus dolts out in the population, the order-following class, to actually perform these behaviors. It doesn't look at the engineers who structured that system as the most evil bad guys. You want to know why it doesn't? Because they're not. The evilest people on the face of the earth, the most evil the dumbest and most evil people on the planet are the order-following class who follows the orders of the Satanists and dark occultists. They're the dumbest people on the planet. They're the most cowardly people on the planet. They're the most apathetic people on the planet. And they're the most evil people on the planet. Because they've abdicated their conscience to follow orders of the sickest people, the mentally and psychologically sickest people, the most emotionally sick people on the fucking planet, the most spiritually sick people on the planet, and they're actually doing their evil for them with their own body. And then I got other dumb fucking mud creatures writing to me to this day, still trying to say, you're wrong about how karma works, Mark. The dark occult class, that's the commanders of all the troops of evil, are the ones who get the most karma. You're wrong, dumbass. The order followers are the people who have the most karma dumped upon their soul. Karma means action. It doesn't mean writing something down in a book. It doesn't mean telling and communicating somebody to do the wrong thing. It doesn't mean influencing people to be evil. It means doing the evil. When you accrue negative karma, it's because of behavior that you conducted physically upon other people. You have to degrade them in some form. You have to diminish from them in some form. You have to take that which doesn't belong to you in some form. The only way the highest level Satanists and social engineers are actually detracting and stealing and taking from people is through deception. They violate really one of the 7 transgressions against natural law, whereas the order followers violate them all. They do murder, assault, rape, theft, trespass, coercion, and deception. This engineer ruling class really engages largely in deception. I'm not going to say not some of them partake in some of the other natural law sins or transgressions against true morality. Some do. Probably many do. But the top level ones that are really putting out the ideology that manipulates and controls everybody else, I guarantee you, they operate according to a very sophisticated code, And what they are doing is simply speaking words. That's all they're telling people. Watch Larkin Rose's film, The Jones Plantation. When the manipulator of the plantation, Mr. Smith, says to Mr. Jones, he just told all the slaves of the plantation that they're free and that they're going to all run the plantation together, when he knows he lied to them and manipulated them, and that's not the case, that they're still slaves. He's just trying to change their perception of their situation. And Jones says, why did you tell my slaves that they're free? And Smith says to him, all I said was a bunch of words. That's all I did. Nothing else happened here. This is how you have to understand what Satanists do. They deceive. They're deceivers. They don't do the bulk of the immoral, destructive, villainous behavior themselves. They want to remain largely karmically free of really intense karmic debt, because they want to continue to enjoy the fruits of their labor and continue to operate as the rulers of the planet. And the people who are going to be largely punished under the consequences of natural law are going to be the fucking people who went along with their deceptive words and then did horrible, violent, and coercive and even more deceptive behavior to their fellow human beings, to their fellow brothers and sisters, because they bought into the mind control. And then they're utilizing their physical form, their body, and their behavior to do it. That's literally dumb shits. What karma means from the original fucking Indus Valley term that came from fucking Sanskrit. It means action. It doesn't mean what you say. It means what you do. Your karma comes from what you do. Who's doing the behavior of the Satanists? The police are doing the behavior of the Satanists. The military are doing the behavior of the Satanists. The other order followers in the education system, in the medicine system, in the legal system are doing the order of the Satanists. They're fulfilling their desires and wishes and goals. If we say no to doing the behaviors that they command, their game is over. But they won't say no to the evil because they want the reward in the form of monetary compensation and being left alone, as they'll say, or having an easier life, or having more creature comfort, or having more physical resources, rather than doing the hard thing, which is the right thing. And that's why most people on this planet are immoral pieces of filth. They're not good. What's in their heart, what's in their mind, what they do with their behaviors is bad and evil. And they will continue to do that for their God, which is money. And they'll continue to do that for their occult gods, which are the Satanists who really run this fucking planet. You are locked in a fucking hell of a kind with demons who run the fucking place. And make no mistake about it, hell is empty and all the demons are here. Make no mistake of it. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. Right here on this fucking planet, turning it into the hell world that's going to be their fucking playground. For millennia upon millennia. This doesn't have to be a perpetual hell. That is the choice of every human being living in the place that's becoming a hell. This is who the Satanists are. This is what much more likely what they're likely to look like. So remember, the guy in the red robe from the Stanley Kubrick movie? Let's get it straight. Most Satanists don't look like that. Most Satanists are a suit and tie guy. They're more likely to be in a corporate boardroom on the top floor of a fucking skyscraper in the middle of the center of a major city on Earth, making decisions about how people's lives are going to work for the next 100 fucking years. Okay? Let's get that straight. That this guy carving up the planet is much more looking like a Satanist than some priest conducting a ritual in a big mansion. That's all the time we have for this edition, folks. We'll see you right here next week with a continuation of neo-feminism and the satanic Epi-Eugenics agenda part 4.